Everybody ready?
Yeah,
Turn the music up. Turn me down.
Turn me down. You know what I mean?
Guru.
This time it's for the money, my niggas.
You can't say that.
Shut up, I'm gonna say what I want. I'm free to believe, and my speech is blown. And you need to receive, if you leave it wrong, it's what you want now. The plan is started, so listen to Sam and Marcus and hardcore truths with a splash of contrast, cause it's the Illegal Opinions Podcast.
Man, welcome back to the Illegal Opinions Podcast, the last place for real talk. Listen with an open mind to leave mad. The choice is yours. Y'all already know what it is. I'm your comedian host, Sam Ridley, back in the building, doing what I do best.
Sam, you get on my last.
Making people mad, apparently. It's all good, though. Hey, and I'm here with my man, Marcus Palmer, my man, 100 Grand. How you doing, man? You know,
What up? How everybody doing? Everybody all right?
Yeah, hopefully, everybody's good. We can't like have any mystique when we got a guest now. So, you know what I'm saying? We need to go ahead and just knock this out right now. We got a special guest in the building today on a bunch of different facets, man. I probably wouldn't be here and be doing comedy the way I am now if it's not for this man. I met him when I started doing the open mics over at John Lovett's. He was the man behind the bar. He was the comic that I was like, oh, okay. He kept me out of a lot of pitfalls. My man out in Los Angeles, comedian extraordinaire Brandon West. Thank you for joining us, man. You know what I'm saying? The Arsenio.
I think that's
I like that. Yeah.
First of all, I just want to thank you, Sam. Thank you, Marcus, for having me on this podcast.
Hey, for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah, man. You guys are doing something like really great. You guys are carving something out that's needed and unapologetic and a truthful opinion. So
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Y'all definitely check out Brandon's stand-up where you can find it on YouTube on his channel. I'll let him give out his plugs and stuff, y'all. And if y'all watching on YouTube, I know you can just see him. But yeah, man, it's I went down to John Lovett's club and I remember them being like, who is this cat? Talking about me, and not on some like he's the best already. They was just like, this motherfucker got like advertising material printed in like a month. He ain't never touched the stage before. And it's like, oh, okay, he might be in it for the long haul. But
for sure,
yeah,
you said it was apparent. It was apparent as soon as you like put your feet in the water, you already started like figuring out your channels or which way you were going to go. And like just like what you said is like you could tell that you were taking this for real and you were going to do you were trying to figure out, okay, what's the second, third, fourth step. Yeah, because coming out that open mic, man, it's like the Thunderdome. You don't know if you're gonna make it out there. Some fools, I feel bad. Some fools, I ain't gonna say no names, but you be seeing them and they be like, man, I still be doing. Like, not to say I fucking love them, but like the getting out that open mic to the stage, that's an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah,
right.
And doing shows and getting respected and doing that. So yeah, kudos, man. You've been doing your thing. Me
and Marcus was just talking about that first big show on a previous episode with Shang. And I think it was when we had Dakari on. We was talking on the MVP episode about and we're not gonna say her name obviously, but the girl that got booed up off the stage because she decided she wanted to talk about black women, and the way she went to the bar and just basically just drank herself stupid the rest of the night. And Dakari was making this face like, man, I was there, man, I felt bad. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dog, we all felt bad for her, but we all saw everything turning. Like while she was on, it's weird when you're not on stage and you're watching it happen to somebody. It's like a train wreck where you see the car is like obviously stalled on the tracks, and you can't save them. You know what I'm saying?
It's over.
There's nothing you can do but stand there and be like, this shit is not gonna end well. Like, go to the bar, put some money on it, because this is the shit that's got to happen right now, man. It's a rough life. It's a rough life. But I went through a lot of pitfalls, or skipped a lot of pitfalls. Because of Brandon. Like, Brandon be like, hey, don't fuck with him. They're cool. They're trying to get you to do bringer shows. I don't know if we explained what bringer shows was before, but more or less these bookers want you to bring 10 people that you already know because it feeds the club. But since they already know you, how are you getting new fans? You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, they're not paying you. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. But like, I probably would have fell in that bucket if they won't kind of keeping me away from certain motherfuckers down there. So
yeah, man, that shit'll get you twisted up too. Like a lot of people, like, I don't try to ever. It's hard. It's even hard to say that to a younger comic because it's a stage, and it's like, man, don't do this though, because what you're gonna do, you're gonna burn out. You're gonna burn the people that support you out, and then the pitfall of being at you're at a club and you're doing the stage, and there's like a big audience there because everybody's bringing people, but it's false. And then you fall so hard, then you can't get no other shows, and then the shows you do have, you have to have the smaller shows, and then it fucks with your head, and it's just not worth it. I saw so many people do that, and that's from bartending at a comedy club. That's the only reason why I knew that.
Yeah, and the thing about it too, like I remember doing a couple of them for a couple of them guys, and that you're when you're doing the bringer shows, you're normally a brand new comic, right? So you're probably trash and don't know it. So the people are coming to see you because it's cute. It's like, oh, look at this thing he's doing, and I got free tickets into the Ice House, or whatever club. But you're terrible. You know what I'm saying? And then by the time you actually get good, they don't want to come no more.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to come.
That's gotta be the most
no
discouraging thing, though. Like I was trying to think while you guys were talking, like, what is one of the scariest, if I were to call comedy a profession, like scariest professions? And I don't think there are very many things scarier than going up and be a stand-up and then failing, because when you go to be a stand-up and you're trying, you're like, nobody knows who you are and nobody cares who you are. People are waiting to like annihilate you as soon as you walk up on stage
all day. Like
people just waiting, like, oh yeah, please be dog shit, so I can just jump all over you and boo you out of the room. And then once, like, you have, like, you either gain confidence or you get the fuck out of it. Because if you don't gain any confidence, it's fucking all downhill. And people are like, here come this motherfucker again. Remember last month, this one?
Yeah. It's so
rough,
many
man.
cats
it's a
that
rough
when we started that ain't doing this shit no more.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know, like, to the extent some of them are doing comedy, but then I'll look up and I'll see them go back to the bringer show thing, because that's the only place that they can get a gig. And it's like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's hard to get to that point where you can pick and choose and tell them, like, no, I'm cool on that. I don't need to come out there.
But you got the only way you're gonna do that is if you gotta go out. You gotta go out and you gotta do actual shows, bar gigs, get up in the shit. You can't rely on bringer shows because so many people fall into that. And then, like you said, you discourage. You have to get your own stripes. You gotta earn those shits. And there ain't no other way around that. And you have to have a lot of humility. I mean, I know I don't know if we'll get into the sensitivity of a comic on this one. I don't know. We'll see. But the humility of a comic, because I remember when Sam first started and we were having conversations, like, we always had conversations when we were, I guess, growing up about doing stand-up, right? I remember we ended up going to, what was that, the Laugh Factory in Virginia Beach, and they were like, you got to bring 15 people with you. And we were like, nah, we ain't doing that. Like,
the Funny Bone.
So, and then the Funny Bone. You're right, the Funny Bone. So we're talking about it, and he's like, yeah, man, I'm finna go and do this, like a bowling alley thing. I'm like, nigga, you finna go to a bowling alley and do stand-up? Karaoke night and do stand-up? He was like, yeah, like, this is the road. Like, this is the way. There is no D League where you're still getting paid pretty decently and people can still watch you on TV. It's the bottom. Like, we down here grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember back then too, two things. One, you was talking about doing comedy, Marcus. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, you should. Like, you got ideas. And then Brandon, this is new information to both of y'all probably, but Black 24, Marcus, that was me and his brainchild a long time ago. Yeah. When we did the Black 24. Yeah. Then, after we got it put together, Brandon let us debut it on the big screen at John Lovett's Club. So that was like one of the first places it played.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So all three of us in the same room is nuts right now. For real.
What?
That's dope, man. Then.
Yeah, that's super dope. These are like those stories, and I know that like a lot of people don't know that now, but like obviously, like, because we're all growing still. But these are the stories you hear, like, about, people that you look up to that famous that made it, and they be telling these stories like, oh yeah, we all met way back in the day,
right?
Blah blah blah.
Right.
And you sit there and you say, man, that's fucking dope that like Jay-Z battled DMX and shit like that. in a goddamn pool hall.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
you don't know because you got to take that fucking journey. But yeah, man, that's fucking dope as hell, man.
Yeah, man, I've been knowing this cat a long time. Like, I used to tell him, like, man, this cat, up at John Lovett's club, man. He looked like a Jack Sparrow, but he a nigga, and and he real cool, man. He helping me out a lot, this and that. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, man, this is cool that we making this shit happen. But before we get back into the comedy thing, there's a lot going on in the world right now, right? Obviously, I know a lot of y'all really enjoyed. Thank you for the feedback from the Black Lives Matter episode last week. Me and Marcus had talked about, I know, I'm going to tell you that, Marcus. Somebody had asked me, it's like, how come you didn't put George Floyd on the thing? And I was like, because it's not just him.
Right,
it's too much going on.
So many.
Yeah,
so much going on. I mean, the shit's still going on. I mean, even as right now, people in the street, there is, I'm sorry, I got nothing. There are people in the street right now. Somebody got killed a couple of days ago. Even during all these protests, my man that was cooking up the barbecue for the police officers and protesters or whatever, he wasn't even protesting. I mean, so you can't just put him on there, even though he's been a catalyst for what's happening right now, and that video coming out is a big part of why we're protesting right now, peacefully at this point. So don't fuck it up, people out there.
I know, right?
But you can't just do that. You can't just put George on there. You gotta. There are so many. I mean, I don't even want to go down the list because we've done that already. But
yeah, well, and just a short version. If we had put him up there, somebody would have been like, "How come you didn't put Breonna Taylor up there?"
Exactly.
And then
I mean, we wouldn't. It would just been people on.
Yeah, it would have had to be a collage. And then for real, like with everything the way it's going right now, by the time we put it up, had it all together, it would have been like,
missing somebody.
There's somebody else missing now.
Yeah.
So no, it just
we even took ourselves off of the cover, off the thumbnail. Like, we're gonna take ourselves off of it. Like, this is what it's not even about self promotion at this point. It's about awareness.
Right. So so thank y'all for your listenership that gave us the feedback on that episode. I'm thankful to our Caucasian listenership that gets it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not hitting us with the buts and the excuses to why we're talking about this so much right now. So Brandon West is out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
His page on Facebook, I want to say, is mostly public. I have been seeing this dude in the streets since this shit started.
Yeah.
Like out in the streets. And that was a beautiful thing to see. Like, you always been a man of your word. You stand behind your convictions. And to see you actually in the shit, I live outside of LA. I was like, every time you posted a video, I was like, holy shit, I got it, especially if it was live.
Yeah.
I was like,
the first time going live. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm going to tell you, something was interesting about your videos from other ones I saw. They never seemed self-serving. Like, I saw people going live in the riots, and I felt like they wanted to let people know they were there for them. You know what I'm saying by that? Like, it's not self-serving. So when I would see you out there, you were letting us know what was really happening. Like, you were doing like a news segment.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shit happening on the news. So I was like, you know what? I got to have him on so he can tell us like what's really happening out there in the streets in these protests. Like, is it more violence than TV or not?
No, well, I'll tell you, the first time that I went, I was actually, I actually, it was funny because it was another comedian that we know, Anye. I was at his house.
Nice.
Right beforehand. And we were just talking about what was going on. And he was like, I mean, I'm not putting words in stuff, but we were talking about, and he was just like, he was just like, this is just, he's all down for destruction. He just like, didn't give a fuck. Like, and that, the thing of it is, it's not about looting. It's not about breaking shit. It's about bringing attention to something. So this is before I even got into the protest. So I'm going home, and then as I'm going home, I see him. I live on Fairfax, so I see people downstairs, like going like down the street, like where all the shops are at. So I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna go down there. So I went down there, and like it was like happenstance. I went down there and I saw the movement, and then once I saw it, it had me. I got it. It was like, all right, like what's up? And so And I knew that a lot of people, I knew it was going to get construed. I knew that because there were fires in the streets, people breaking shit, people looting the fuck out of those stores. And I knew that it was going to get all construed on the news and media. And I was like, you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of my people. I'm here for the reason that everybody's here. I mean, it may be, they're angry. They're angry right now. And this is how they're acting. So I'm going to
rightfully so.
I'm going to go in and show it. And so that's what I just started doing that. And I went in and showed it. And as far as, I mean, this is the first time I got trapped. This is when I got locked up.
Oh yeah, you did. You got locked up, right?
Hell yeah.
Did you get you some shit though?
Huh?
Did you get you some shit?
Oh yeah. I've live streamed I was in the sheriff's bus, like when they had us all, and I was live streaming that shit.
Make sure you ain't beep. We beeping out all the shit he stole.
Yeah. No, but it was like, I see. The thing of it is that I wasn't even like, it was just when I was in there, like you saw there was a police line, and it was at the end of Fairfax, and then it was like they already fucked up the Grove and shit. They're like, that's like an outside mall. They fucked up
the Grove.
Hell yeah, there was somebody on top of the clock tower spraying shit on it and all kinds of stuff. Fucking up. But there were there were people down just for that. Like, I'm not going to sit there and condone anything, but there were people down there just to fuck it up.
Right.
And so when I went in, I kept going closer. I want to go in. I want to go in, and I want to go in. And I saw people looting, and I wasn't looting or anything, but I understood what was happening. I was just like, I understood the angst and some of it wasn't there for the right reason. Some of it was. But I'm with it all. I'm with everything. I'm with for the protest. If you're gonna break shit, if that's how you feel, fuck it. What we had to go through to this point to get people to hear. Yeah. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. All of it's insured. I don't care about your glass or whatever. That's on. If they feel that way, then fuck it, do it. So I'm in there and I'm just like, I just felt a need to like, all right, I gotta start showing this shit. And like, I did make a stance that I knew that I'm not trying to do this in like yeah, I'm trying to like be here in the moment, but I'm not trying to sit here and self-serve myself or like put blast on or put West clothing or some shit like that. It was just here for that, and mainly because, I mean, it's right down the street from my house, but I'm from Ohio, and I wanted, I have family in Ohio, I have friends in Ohio, white and black, and I was like doing that for them, so that like you could see that I'm right here. And it's for something else, and it's not going to get construed and shit. But I'll tell you this: that I'll tell you when I got locked up. So they were breaking and shit. And most of it, I'll tell you this right now: it was the hype beast stores, and there was those little hype beast kids that was fucking that up. Yeah, that's who got fucked up. Those kids knew exactly what they were doing. They was like, "Oh, you trying to fucking these 500 Jordans, these off white?" They busted in that shit. It was up, and they were in and out. And that's I'm telling you, when I saw that shit, it was crazy. They knew what they were doing. Boom, boom, boom. They
knew right where they were going. Straight to the Supreme store.
Yeah, they were in that. No, Supreme was smart. They weren't shit in that motherfucker.
They took it.
That shit was clean, bro. They knew what they were doing. So they busted that. They were like, hey, we got one. And I'm telling them like, fucking like, there was like probably like 100 kids rushing, book bags, skateboard. Boom, breaking glass. They cleared that store out in like fucking like, I want to say a minute. And it was crazy because the cops didn't do nothing. The cops didn't do nothing. They were just standing there. And this is where they got me caught up. So they're at one end of the block, and then the other, they're just lined up, and then they're breaking, looting and shit. And I'm like, oh shit, they're trying to set stores on fire. And this was like they right before the curfew. The curfew was at 8:00. At 7:50 or something like that, somebody fucking shot a goddamn firework at them, like the big ass ball ones that go shot at them. And as soon as that, I guess they jumped the gun, and so once on one end of the street, there's nowhere to get out. There's just stores. So one end of the street's here, and then when they shot that firework at them, they just said fuck it, and then boom, there's probably two sets of 20 come out the side. And then they out the side street. So now you're blocked in. There's nowhere to go. Everybody's running back and forth. You got motherfuckers on motorcycles trying to fucking get out. Nah, and they just start shooting pellets. And then they sat our asses down. And then we just sat there. But I'll say this, that it was there for the right reasons, and it was insane to sit there and be. First of all, they sat us down. They made us get on a knee. And then like they kept closing in inch by inch, like it was like real military style. They just make whatever their call was, and like 3 feet, boom, 3 feet, and they wait another like 3 minutes or something, boom, until they got squeezed all the way in, and then they were just like, all right, they're gonna zip tie us, and we got to sit on the sidewalk. But it was crazy because you would see helicopters, and I was seeing cops come in, and they were like military style. They were like Jeeps or whatever, but they'd be hanging on the side, and they'd have like 10 cops in there, and they'd be coming up hanging on the side and shit. And they'd have all their their zip ties out, and then people are shooting fireworks at them, so there's fireworks lighting the sky up, and you're seeing like all this militant shit, and we're just sitting there, and we're like, fuck. It felt like a movie, and there was like all these like off black cars coming through. I didn't know this prior to that. I mean, apparently like fucking like by the Grove, they lit like fucking 4 or 5 cop cars on fire and shit. So they did that. They already fucked Beverly Hills up. They were fucking all that up. I didn't know all this at the time, but well, I will say it was a fascinating time to be standing up for that, and then being zip tied and being around the people that you're protesting against.
You're part of history, man. That's historic. Like what's happening right now, you know, we always they reference Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all that whole civil rights era. And what I find different about this time is there's a lot of white people out there.
That's my point. And
okay.
That's my question, actually. Like, with the people that were out there looting, not protesting, looting, what color were they? They were running in the stores with the skateboards.
They were mostly white and shit, but there was some black kids in there. And then it was me. But they didn't get caught. They dipped because they ran. They ain't gonna sit there. I'm talking about these motherfuckers had racks of clothes. Like, just going.
That's them young legs. That's them young boys. They go and get a whole rack of clothes and take off.
That was what they were doing. But this is the funny part. It was the funniest part it was not funny, but it was humorous.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah,
that's funny.
It was humorous as we're locked in. So we're sitting down. We're down for 15, 20 minutes. And these aren't the looters. These are just regular, like, people that live in West Hollywood and stuff like that. You got dudes crying, like, I was just trying to get, trying to tell the cops all this bullshit. And trying to get out of the line. Oh my God, I can't go to jail, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. Well, I knew I was with somebody with a chick, and she was next to me, and she already knew what the shit is. She's down. And I was like, hey, there's way too many middle-class white people here. They are not putting us in jail. I guarantee you that. You got motherfuckers in Birkenstocks and shit. Like, they ain't taking you to county.
Hey, them shits are expensive too. Just to be like some cork and some leather. Those some expensive ass shoes.
I actually was sitting there and we were zip tied, and the lady next to me was not bless her heart, she was down for the cause, but she was like sitting there, and she was like English. She was an English, like she's probably like 35 white woman. She was like, "You think I can't do an English accent? You think we're going to go to jail?" And I was like, "Nah, because you're here. They ain't taking us to jail. They're not doing that. But they get basically what they did was they put us in the thing, in the big sheriff bus, and then they took us all the way down to. They didn't know where they were taking us, by the way, because I was on the front seat, and they was like, "We're supposed to go to Van Nuys." I was like, man, fuck Van Nuys. But they were
you done always hated Van Nuys, bro.
I hate Van Nuys. I was like, I don't want to go back to Van Nuys. But then they were like, nah, they're going to take us down by Wilshire or something like that. So they, like, all precincts were filled. And so basically they took us down to Crenshaw, and then they basically had to sit outside the jail and wrote us a ticket. And they wrote everybody a ticket, and then they let us go. But the fucked up part about it is, like, I mean, we in Crenshaw at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's what I was just thinking about. Like, I've never been out to Crenshaw, but I've seen TV.
Yeah, I mean, it was mayhem. So I don't think anybody was down. There was a couple people there was a couple times where I was like walking, and like, I mean, you had dudes on the porch and shit. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I've done some shows out Crenshaw. Like, it's the movies, Marcus.
Yeah.
It's the movies. People out there
it's
like
the movie.
And flipping pigeons and shit, like
flipping pigeons out that motherfucking shit.
I mean, it looked like it. It looked like it. I mean,
but you know, it's like everywhere out
y'all can't
there,
just
like
stay the night
Crenshaw,
at the jail instead of leaving.
They never let us in, and they never let us in. And there was no lifter. There was no lifter or fucking Ubers or nothing. There was nothing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't ask. I could have homeboys and do and every like come out, and I was like, man, I did this to my we just got to man up. And I just gotta go because it's like there's a curfew. I don't know if they're policing the curfew or whatever. So it's just like
that would be fucked up to go to jail because you went to jail and then you was out past curfew when they let you out.
Yeah,
yeah. So that's why I had my little ticket. I had my little paper. I felt like that made me really feel weird.
Oh, you was a slave for real.
Yeah, I was like, I got my papers.
Emancipation papers.
To be out, boss.
Yeah, but that shit was crazy. But the craziest part about the whole thing, once I got back, I had my little boosted board, electric skateboard with me, and then the girl I was with, she got a scooter finally, and then we zipped up towards West Hollywood, and it was past curfew, so there was nobody out but like crews and like fire trucks and police cars. And then like when you went through the streets, like I'm talking about by the Grove, like up by Fairfax, where all you saw was rubber bullets, flash bangs, things on the ground. It looked like I was in like a war zone. I mean, for real, everything was fucked up. All glasses were broke. There was like I went past Melrose, and there was fucking 2 stores were on fucking fire. Still.
Yeah, one of your videos you held up. It looked like a bomb, like an Acme bomb.
Yeah.
What was that? Was it?
It was a bigger. It was like a rubber ball. They fired at you.
That giant rubber ball?
Yeah.
I thought it was a bomb, like something like smoke or gas came out of it because it looked like a little handball. To get everybody that's just listening on like Spotify and whatnot, it was.
No, hold on. What did you say?
It looked like a huh?
Why'd you call it a handball?
I say it was about that size. Like that's
what's a handball though?
Like a ball that you hold in your fucking hand. I don't know how to describe
like all balls.
Oh, I thought this was like some military. Like,
no. I'm not talking about the military shit. No. But, yeah, the handball. We hit them with them. That's the shit we hit them with is a handball.
You hit that motherfucker with the handball.
No. Like a small dodgeball. Is the best thing I guess to describe it. I was I remember when I saw you with it, and it looked like it didn't look like a projectile. It looked like something they would throw, and it would emit something. So,
but it did say handball on it. I didn't get hit with that thing, so I was like, it did say handball deterrent on it or something like that. That's why.
Damn.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
I didn't know that.
Handball? Yeah,
did not know that.
The saying with the ops, he out there throwing them bitches around at people.
Like, oh, I almost hit that nigga. I was not out there throwing handballs at black people.
I was like, oh, I got him.
I got him. He
snitched on himself.
Brandon told him himself, goddamn.
About to have a flashback. Be like, I thought that was Sam over there. Dude with a Kango threw up.
Yeah. But yeah, that shit was crazy, man. It was nuts. And then like as far as everything else, it like where I live, it just so happens to be one of the cross streets that they come to. These protests sporadically pop up or go through. So it's very hard. I'm down for it, down for whatever. But it's like even if I'm trying to do something at this point in time, and then you start hearing those chants outside your window, what else are you gonna do? I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm like, if I hear it and I hear people and I hear the chants and I hear the cars beeping and I hear them marching, then I just go.
And that's why it's commendable. Like you very easily could have just sat in your house.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, there's some wild shit going on. You could have been making videos from your window.
Yeah.
But you was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? You was in the streets, man. They had one protest out here where I was at. We all got warned about it. It was like, on your way home, be careful. They protesting over by this school. So I come over, there's like a bridge. I got to come over. And at the top of the bridge, I'm already thinking in my head, like, let me go around this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me navigate my way home. But the other part of me is like, let me see what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Get to the top of the bridge, look down. I don't see nobody in the streets. So now I'm like, fuck it. Let me go down to the high school. It was 2 people sitting in the car because it was hot. They was in their AC. 2 cars.
But where you at though?
I'm not saying because people crazy.
Okay.
But I'm far, and it's hotter out here than it is in LA.
Yeah.
So it was like 98. They was like, nah, we cool. It ain't even enough of us to do this out here. Like, I'm in a very, very Republican, Trump supporting area, unfortunately. So
I wanted to do something like that, but I could have. I was in Colorado, and I was in Colorado Springs, and they had a couple of protests, right? But Colorado Springs is different. You know, they're allies, except they're super peaceful. So they were just like laying in the grass with their hands behind their back for like 3 hours.
I saw somebody do that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I want that shit. We're not gonna take it. I want that shit.
What, did you
I
have a
want that
plastic
shit.
bat at the ready?
That was a prop. That's a nice prop.
Well, it makes me comfortable. It's comforting.
That's planned.
At a time like it's not. I've been leaning on it. It's my cane.
I was like, is that a bat?
But no,
Crazy,
I want
Crazy
that
Joe?
shit. I want that. I don't want to go lay in the grass. I want to do some marching. I want to do some, you know what I'm saying? Alleged looting. You know what I mean? I want to do that shit. I don't, and then you can get me to peace. But I don't want to go straight to peace. I want to go bust some shit up first. Not steal, but I do want to, jump on the hood of a police car while it's on fire. It'll be a great Joker moment. It will be my profile picture forever.
Yep.
But that's just what they were doing where I was at the time. But I commend you for going out there, because a lot of people, they hear that noise and they lock their doors.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people are doing. But for you to go out there and run up in it, like, oh no, I'm not gonna miss this shit. Like this is our moment. I'm gonna be here. Yeah. So I mean, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Like, you're a part of it.
No. I mean, we all a part of it. And you know what the crazy part about the whole thing was? Before all this, before I got in it, it took me even a long time to even post anything about George Floyd. And it was just because I saw everybody doing it and posting and not sitting there saying, and also it's like, whatever you're doing, we have to stop. Like, I feel this in our community. We have to stop. Like it doesn't matter if it's this, that, or the other thing. If you do this or you post this or whatever you're doing to be activated, I commend everybody for that. Like, but it took me a minute. It took me a couple days to post, not to sit there. It wasn't like, it took me a minute to post. This one I knew it was real, to even process it. For me, to process it, to actually process it. It took me a long time to watch that video, but to actually process that, and then to show like how I'm going to do it. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea, and like, but just to do that, and that meant that's because it was real. That was one of us that that got murdered. Like, on prime time, basically. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was a lot to process. So I didn't know I didn't know like emotionally if I was ready for that, or if I wasn't one of those people, like, I'm trying to organize a protest. I was kind of like in that shock of like, how do I even process this? But then when I saw it, now I was like, oh yeah.
I think we all were, and you have to find that balance between speaking too early about it, and or you end up speaking directly out of anger, because obviously we're angry, but you got to focus it some kind of way. And like, I remember when Ahmaud Arbery's case happened, me and Marcus had I think we were talking for an hour before we even hit record. Because it was just we got to get this out. Like, we got
exactly.
How you feeling about this right now? Because if we just push record and just start talking, I'm probably going to speak out of anger and say some things that I probably shouldn't say. Or it's going to come across in a way that is not focused in the direction that's going to help the Black community. So, you took that time to do that, but you jumped out the door. Like, nothing else can be said for a lot of these people, myself included. Like, you do what you can, but you saw the opportunity, you saw what was happening, and you jumped in the river. Like, that's not something a lot of people would have done. I guarantee your neighbors wasn't out there. You know what I'm saying? So
they were telling me, I was getting texts saying, "Hey, make sure that we lock the doors." Like, I live in an apartment building, and I was like, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I mean, but like, ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody got no like, oh, make sure everybody keeps the gates closed. I'm like, I mean, I get it. Whatever,
they get it, but that's because you can be in there with your door locked, and they'll still knock your room and shoot you while you're watching TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Goddamn business.
Yeah, so they feel safe in their locked doors. We don't. Yeah. So you go out there and you do something about it. Like, yeah, man.
Let's switch gears a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm talking to a friend of mine. She's a white woman, right? She's talking to me about she goes out with these two Black co-workers of hers. They're guys, right? She goes out to a blues club around where I live with these two Black guys she works with. And she goes into this Black club, and Everybody's kind of chilling, minding their business until they see her with these two black dudes walk in. Nothing, nothing intimate going on. They just kicking it, right? White girl likes live music. Who guessed it, right? So people started looking at the two dudes funny, and the two black guys started feeling a way about how people were looking at them while they were with her. So it got me thinking. With the climate that we're in right now, with the way everything is going, do you guys think it will be more comfortable, or you might be more comfortable with being with a black woman as opposed to being with any other race of woman? Because a black woman, you don't have to over-explain why you feel the way you do to a black woman, as opposed to maybe having to reach a little further to curve the understanding with somebody who hasn't grew up in our culture, in our neighborhoods.
You want to take that one, Brandon, first?
All right. Do I feel that?
I feel a way, 100%.
Oh, I feel a way. Do I feel that it's more comfortable?
Do you think like it's more important right now? Like, let's say just for your mental health, do you think it would be easier for you to be with a woman that was black because you think that she would understand it, or would you feel like any woman should be able to understand the plight of black people in this country right now?
All love matters.
I would say yes. I would say that, first of all, I'm just going to be 100 with you. Do I think mentally? 100%. I do think so. I do think mentally, not mentally as far as my mental health, but mentally as far as conversation. There's just I am sorry that there's just blocks that I've experienced, and nothing against these women that were Caucasian, but there are blocks that there's only so far that you can get to mentally with them sometimes, that to understand the struggle. Do I think that should render, like, should you be with them or not? No. I think that you all should be down, because at this point it's becoming an us thing. Not obviously it's black people, black culture. I mean, but it's like what are the pieces that we're going to put back together to make this country what we wanted for the future, and kill these dinosaurs that we got. But do I think that if you feeling somebody and they feeling you, I think that it goes both ways. If you feeling somebody and you both black and like you guys are with it and you with the shits and you know, and you're moving forward, beautiful, 100%, beautiful shit. But also I believe on the other hand, if you are if you're a mixed couple and you're with it and she there with you, then same shit.
That's a beautiful thing too.
That's a beautiful thing too, because you got to understand that we can't we all got to do it together. But what I will say though, you gotta be ready for that smoke. You gotta be ready for that smoke though.
When it
you
comes,
gotta be ready for that smoke.
Don't shy away from it.
Hell no.
Don't act like you don't know that you with a black man. You know,
if you trying to go out to eat to a nice restaurant, you might catch some smoke. You see a black couple and they're gonna be looking at you crazy. Like you got but that's part of it. And that goes both ways. Like you as a black man got to know that sisters is gonna look at you a certain way, even though the energy is different on the other foot. Yes, 100%.
And that's just my observation of it. Like, remember, was it Sanaa Lathan was in Something New? She got like a budget to show interracial relationships. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, there's nothing wrong with that. Let you be a black man and step out that door with Karen. You know, all of a sudden you a sellout. So it's like, if you're gonna be out there and you're gonna interracially date. And you know what? I got to say this. It's just outside of L.A. In L.A., don't nobody really give a fuck. I see that more than anywhere else. In L.A., it's such a melting pot. Nobody cares. But if you're out there in an interracial relationship in the South or anywhere else, the energy is going to be different when they look at you with them, and they're going to wonder why you ended up with somebody that wasn't just like you. And that's a shitty way to look at it, because maybe they just treat you right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But in today's climate, it's a longer conversation. And if I have to have it with somebody, it better be somebody I know, because I ain't finna fucking explain to no stranger why I'm with somebody that's outside of my color.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. But in LA, like it's such a melting pot.
It was the reason it kind of came across, it like kind of, you know, ran across my mind was because I'm looking at these protests, I'm looking at the people there, and I see, you know, all, you know, shades of colors and everybody else out there kind of holding hands and doing the kumbaya thing. Everybody's on it. And it just seems like right when we got to a point where people just started becoming mostly okay with interracial relationships.
You mean as a whole, like countrywide?
As a whole, man, yeah, countrywide, dog. I'm in the South, and when I tell you, I see these old ass white ladies with their little mixed grandbabies running around and shit in the grocery store, and I'm like, my grandbaby love that black dick. So when I see these women out here, these older women, older men, these white men and women out here with these kids that are mixed, they might. And the mom isn't around. Like they're strictly babysitting these little motherfuckers, right? So I'm looking at them like, you know what? Like love conquers all. Because I know this old white lady that grew up in the South, she's fucking 78, 80 years old, then threw a couple of niggas out her window a couple times. But now she's in here with her grandbabies, and you could tell these little niggas is black. Right? Or mixed, I mean.
Yeah.
And she still got them. They in the Costco and the Sam's Club running around right behind grandma. Grandma love their little asses, and that's great. But I just started thinking about, well, given the way things are going right now, is it better for you to be with some? Because I think I'm gonna make you fucking understand. If I'm fucking with you, you could be fucking black, white, Asian, Indian, whatever. If I'm fucking with you, I'm fucking with you. You're gonna deal with this shit I'm dealing with. You're gonna hear me, or it's gonna be a wrap. Like, or if we don't get each other, if you don't get this shit that's happening outside right now, then we can't be together.
Yeah,
that's regardless of whatever. So if I love you, I'm gonna explain it to you, and I'm gonna have to keep explaining it to you until you fucking get it.
Yeah,
I would hate to be the black dude in an interracial relationship that was already in an interracial relationship before all this happened, and then they found out the white girl didn't get it.
Oh, like, yeah. Bro, you can go too deep. I've been too deep before.
What you mean?
What you mean?
that don't want some explanation. What you mean?
There's a too deep. There's a too deep moment. There's a too deep. Like, I mean, everything ain't cut and dry, bro. Like, I was in a relationship, ex-girlfriend, and she was white, like white.
What's white and white? Like which one? At what point do you make the cauliflower mash?
Let me. Okay, so like, I'll tell you that she she had like we were living together and shit, and her mom and all of her aunts came, and this ain't even a joke or anything. The pictures that we took, they all came. There was like 5 of them. They all looked the same. They all blonde and shit. The pictures that I would post, like, tag me on Facebook, and I was like, they made me feel uncomfortable.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't do that.
I was getting DMs. And shit. Like, hey, what's going on? And you know what really hit me? Was my other exes, we still cool though, but she's Guatemalan, and she was like, "Oh, you think you're really cute?" I was like, like I already knew that.
Yeah.
It made it. But the thing of it is, nothing against her, but it was just like she would try to get it.
Yeah.
And not be able, like, I'll give you the perfect example that made me think of, and this is not even a joke, that there was I just recently saw that somebody got a tattoo of Malcolm X, but it wasn't Malcolm X, it was Denzel playing Malcolm.
I saw that. Yo, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but that was the type of shit that I would be going through in the house.
Yeah.
Like, she was like trying to explain things, and she'd be thinking that it's like there was just a limit to it. And then when I went out and visited her family, and then she said Chicago, and I was like, all right, cool. But it was fucking Sherwood. That's like outside of Chicago. That's not Chicago. And so when I went around, I was just like I just remembered like just looking around, I was like, man, this is crazy. This is like I'm too deep. I'm too deep. The yard is too big. It's like, why is your yard so big? This don't make no fucking sense.
Why is your yard so big?
Why people got those big ass yards in the Midwest? Like for no reason.
You gonna need a field hand.
Yeah. Looks like you need.
You saw a nigga out there fucking cutting the grass, looking at you like, run.
Not doing anything I don't want to be doing.
Oh man.
But yeah,
hey, you walk up to her house and the nigga, hey, you a new yard hand?
Yeah, it made
Like,
me like
no,
everything
man.
was like immaculate and shit. There was a boat in the driveway.
Yeah.
I was like, man, bro, this ain't. And her mom had one of those Karen haircuts too. Her mom was like that person.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, real boss. You know, like when we get in arguments, she'd write me emails. Her mom would. I was like, bro, we don't do this. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's
Hey,
how.
man.
That's why I said too deep. That's for the that. I don't even say for the streets. That's for the cul-de-sac. You gotta throw that back. Put that back out there.
Okay, so when I got out here, I was relatively new to California when I started going to Lovett's. I finally got up the nerve and went out there, this and that. When I met Brandon, I remember my first thought. Now I'm telling you this because like this is my man. I was like, he a real Cali nigga. Like, look at this cat. Like he is an unorthodox black man. You know,
right?
Like, there's nowhere to skate, but he popped his skateboard up right outside the door. Like, did a little kick push, held up, hey, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is an unorthodox player. But the longer I was in LA, I was like, this is the vibe out here. Everybody is themselves. If you go to the South, you go down there, probably where Marcus live, every brother look like Marcus. You know what I'm saying?
No, don't do that.
I don't wait. What I mean by that?
Okay.
No, I'm a one of one, my nigga. No.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is
they closed the factory after me, my nigga.
Okay, so what I mean is how many Brandon West you seen out there?
Nah, ain't none of them out there.
Ain't none. That's what I mean. So they look like you.
They got dreads. They got dreads, but they like they ain't that fly. They ain't that fly.
I appreciate that, but you know what, Marcus? I appreciate you for living in the damn South. I don't know what state
he had every opportunity to run. He could have ran.
I'm in Alabama. I'm in Mobile, Alabama.
Woo!
Yeah, boy.
Woo! I mean, like, hey, but like, I'm just saying, like, the just going through the South, and I've been there a couple of times. It's mentally, man. You gotta navigate real. You gotta be sharp out there. Like it's like,
oh yeah.
And I don't even think that it's just different because like I just feel like it's more upfront. Like comedians say that it's more upfront in the South, and it is like that. But I tell you that living in LA, like I'm free to be myself and everything, but I live in a bubble. I'm from Ohio. And then even like going back to Ohio or when I went out into the suburbs of fucking Chicago or anywhere, I realized that like motherfuckers vote for Trump and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like here you're in a bubble and you like go out there and it's like, oh nah, like this ain't the world though. This is not America. This is just a small representation of it. So it's like you have to deal with certain things, and so any black man that lives in the South and that can navigate.
It's just, but like I tell everyone, yes, people here they do let you know without saying it at least that they're a certain they support a certain type of thing. They got the fucking the sticker on their car, right? But I will also say, just for the sake of everybody listening that's never been like this far down south, the closer you are to the water, the cooler it is to be around. Like I live by the water, right? So the closer you are to the water, everything is good. Like you come through, like, let's do it like this. We'll just take a little trip. You go through like Baton Rouge, right? On the water is cool. You go through New Orleans. New Orleans is cool. I mean, you could still die there, but the racism is kind of different. So you go through there. Let's say you hit Biloxi. After that, I lived in Biloxi for like 3 years. Biloxi is super cool. Small little sleepy beach town. Everything's all right. The vibe is nice. Casinos on the water. All that shit. Come through Mobile. It's cool. You hit Pensacola. It's like, it's all right. But then once you get through the Panhandle and you start going through certain parts of Florida, like your Tallahassee's and around Jacksonville, the racism is different. But once you get down to Orlando, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, all that shit, it's cool. But once you go like inside those areas, like stay away from like interior Alabama, right? Like stay away from interior Florida, Georgia, those places. But usually, man, everything's cool. I mean, the racism is it is more expressed here, like, but it's expressed in silence.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody out there calling you a nigger in the street.
Yeah.
They just don't talk to you.
Yeah. You just know if you walk into a room or walk into a bar that you ain't supposed to be here immediately.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, oh, you know what? I'm gonna head out. Thank you guys. You know what I mean? I should have known by all the trucks outside what was happening in here. But I was just checking.
I'll tell you this, Marcus, just for the black experience all together, that should be a fucking PSA, man. That is very smart and very informative.
Stay by the water.
Yeah.
Stay by the water.
I know that. See, you gotta live there to know that shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it makes
Stay
sense.
by the water.
It makes sense. It makes so much sense because I've been to Florida and I wasn't by the water. And I did not like that shit.
See, and like
I was like, this is the South. This is like how you think of Florida. The first time I went, I thought of Florida was like being beach and shit and all that.
Yeah.
But if you ain't by that shit, it's the South.
Yeah, you in there.
I've
it's different.
Never been more scared than trying to get gas in West Virginia. That I think I put enough gas in my car to get to the next lit place. Like I was like, I need to be back in my vehicle with the doors locked and in motion, like to be as safe as I possibly can be. But like for real, Marcus, I was telling you, people be like, "Oh, you from the South?" When I tell them I'm from Virginia, and I'll be like, "I'm from Virginia Beach." And once they get it with what you just said, they'll be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. It's different. It's different energy out there. Like in Virginia Beach,
all of that changes.
Yeah,
it's not
different.
the same South. You know what I'm saying? So just to put a button on the whole, dating outside your race in a climate like this. To me, love is love. I'm always going to have that stance. Mm-hmm. I think it's ridiculous to be with somebody just because, I feel like I have to be with somebody that is Puerto Rican or black or whatever you are. Find somebody to treat you right. My problem with it always arises when I see the black man that gets with a woman that is not of color and forgets the struggle. And that's something that I see a lot more on the internet than anywhere else. Because I've told you, like Brandon, I've never seen you with anything less than like a snow bunny or something exotic.
Man, you trying to get me canceled, bro?
No, I'm not going to. You ain't gonna get canceled.
Hey, man, over here. Live your best life, King. We can't all do it. Live your best life.
But check
out
it
there
out.
in LA, getting them Kardashians, bagging them, banging them down.
But no, check it out. Like the swag.
Allegedly.
The swag of B-Dub, right? Allegedly, right?
Yeah, let's put that on there.
So one time we finished up at Lovett's. We did the open mic. In LA, if you want some food late night, there's plenty of good places to go, and none of them are a chain. None of them they're not an IHOP, they're not a Denny's. He'd be like, we're going to go get some breakfast. Boom. We hit up this spot. I don't even remember what it was called. Okay. For whatever reason, and if you go anywhere, you tell them you do comedy. When you're in LA, everybody think they somebody. And we was feeling ourselves a little bit. I think we had a good night. But some Australian chicks that came up, and they just look like exotic white women. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, y'all do comedy or whatever. And we got to ride that wave. We sat, we ate with them. Boom, we out of there. But that was the moment I realized in LA that color shit really, really, really don't matter.
No,
like it's so different out there. You know what I'm saying? They was like, y'all do comedy, let's take a picture. Boom, they was up out of there. And it was such a beautiful thing to be like, okay, they didn't go, y'all must only do like Def Jam type of shit because y'all black. Yeah. Or, it was just, y'all entertainers, you out here. We see the vibes. Cool. You see more interracial couples in LA for me anyway. And I've been all around the world than anywhere else I've ever been. Yeah, because it's such a melting pot of people that are coming here trying to make it. And it's like, we all trying to do the exact same shit. And I think that's where a lot of them outside of LA get that all lives matter and think, well, how come y'all don't get it? It's because we know that's a direct response to Black Lives Matter. The people in LA aren't saying that because they get the injustice is happening to just one group of people.
Right. Yeah.
But they'll date whoever they want to, and they still understand it and don't try and twist it. That's the key.
Yeah. And it is that, but it's still like being from Ohio, like being here for so long, I kind of forget that. But it is definitely, nobody even thinks that here. But when you go outside of it, it definitely is definitely upfront. Not upfront. I won't say that nobody's gonna sit there and be like say nothing, no derogatory shit. But you know what you feel the vibes, like you all right.
Yeah, you feel it when you talk to people. Now let me ask you this, Brandon. So do you feel like doing comedy? it's a lot of racist comics that use comedy to hide it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, talk about it. Talk about it. Talk
Yeah.
about it. I want to hear this shit.
Man.
Tell me more.
There's a lot of motherfuckers that like, bro, that like you know what I saw the and it's crazy because it was such a short period of time, but we're miles away from this bullshit now. And this is not even about comedy, it's about Trump when he was talking about what do you have to lose, that what do you have to lose speech, talking to black culture and shit like that.
Right.
And like, what do you have to lose? Now when you look at that, I looked at that today and I was like, man, that's fucking crazy. That's like in the climate that we're in now, and seeing the little itty bitty change that we're trying to move to start to move forward. That rhetoric bullshit is out the window. And the same thing, but you hit it because there was like this cushion zone that you could play with. That you could say that, hey, I'm racist, but hey, I'm not really saying the shit, but I'm saying like horrible shit. And you could say that. And I think that's the same thing with comedy. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of comics and like that say that shit, because guess what? I don't give a fuck if it's like, even like, I mean, I don't give a fuck if it's funny or not. It's the fucking tone. The tone you can't hide. Yeah. If you put it on the tone or the way you type the shit, like, and you put it like a certain way, like we don't escape this. We live with this. I've grown up in Ohio around mainly white people. I know what that fucking racism shit, that underlying racism shit is. And so it's just like, they try to do that and then to hide the guise of, but I'm just trying to be funny. Man, fuck that, bro. Like
that's some shit that me and Sam used to get into it about, and I think we still every now and then still do get into it about the fact that comedians can feel like they can say whatever they want to say about something and write it off as, okay, it's a joke.
And they can. The problem is a lot of them aren't skilled enough to do it.
Yeah.
And
but they're skilled enough to say it though.
That's where the argument lies. No, they're not skilled enough to say it. They're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
No, but they say it. There's no argument for it though. There's no argument for it when you say, I was just writing a joke, man. I didn't mean to offend you. Why ain't you can't just laugh with us? It's like, dog.
No, because it's not funny. Okay, like out here, and I think this is something I see when you go to these, like, start doing the hops to open mics or whatever. Everybody's sitting there with a notebook in their hand. And it's everything they sat there in their own vacuum of friends is telling them they're hilarious, that might have the same jacked up ideologies as far as race goes as they do. Right. And they go, hey, you should try that on stage. So they come out to open mic with that notebook, jump up there for their 3 to 5 minutes to get their shit off. And they're shocked when that racist thing they wrote down doesn't get a laugh, because it got a laugh with their other racist friends.
Yeah.
And then they don't have the sense of self to look at themselves and go, yo, okay, this is the circle of people I'm around that are encouraging something that was real jacked up for me to say. So they gassed me to go out here and almost not make it home.
Yeah. But that self-reflection, that's a real comic.
They don't do it.
They real comic. No, most of them are trash. I'll say it. They fucking garbage. They trash. It's the hardest medium and the easiest medium to get into. You can go on the open mic and just say, hey, whatever, blah, 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 but you don't put the work in. And it's funny because I'll hold myself accountable or black comics accountable, period. It's like, it is a low-hanging fruit at first to talk about race, talk about white people, black people, blah, blah, blah. But it's also the highest hanging fruit if you get fucking good at it, like a Chappelle, like how he talks about it. He talks about it in such an eloquent way that makes everybody gets it and brings everything together, and you see his point of view, and it's fucking hilarious. But just because you're a pissed off, fucking middle of the road, not saying you're not talented or you could get talented just right now, you don't see it and you're just mad and you put that rhetoric out there, then man, fuck you, bro. And then even some of these fucking comics that did make it, they low key making it off of hate. They low key making it off of like you're just,
they'll find their room. They'll find their space to talk that shit. And then, I mean, it's like if you're a super conservative person and you try to go work at MSNBC, and they're like, nah, nigga, you can't work here with that shit. Like, you're crazy. Yeah. What, you talking about conspiracies? Get the fuck out of here. And then they go to CNN or ABC or NBC, and then they land at Fox. And like, oh, I can bathe in this bullshit over here. Like, I'm home now. I'm home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they'll find if they're. I mean, you do have to have some drive at least to find your space to tell your bullshit, racist, bigoted, thoughts, and hopefully they're funny to some people. But no, that's just kind of it's interesting.
And it's
that's a hard thing to navigate, man.
It's a double-edged sword of doing this shit, man, because I've seen some comics come up that have like a premise that is seemingly racist. And if you've been doing open mics long enough, you'd be like, oh, okay, I can see where they're trying to go with that, but they don't have the timing and the wording down yet, right? Mm-hmm. And you can kind of give them a pass. Like, it's going to evolve. It's going to get better. Some of them just don't realize how racist the shit they're saying is. I go to a lot of open mics in Bakersfield. Well, before COVID, when the world was open and shit. Mm-hmm. And
before the Great Plague.
Yeah. A dude got up there, and I'm not even going to repeat what he said, but he said some stuff like specifically to a table of black women, let your imagination run. But they was hella offended. And after he came down, he was like, oh, man, that one joke, I'm going to keep working on that. And I remember telling him, like, no, you should never say anything about that again.
Yeah.
That's terrible
for you, buddy.
That's not cool. I'm offended. If I was them, I'd be calling somebody to beat your ass right now.
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't even really say anything, man. It's just a joke. And I'm like, it's a joke.
I mean, though.
It can only get you so far. You still got to get to your car.
Yeah, bro. Exactly. Like, it's like that guys is going, like, all I feel like this in COVID and feeling like after George Floyd and everything, all that extra shit is cut down by like fucking 75%. Whole I got the guy, I was just a joke, man. Okay, bro, like we ain't playing that. Just like these fucking comics on here on these social media talking this bullshit, talking all that sleight of hand shit. Like it ain't not you. There ain't no more fucking passes. They all out. They done.
I'm not looking forward to open mic when this is over with.
Either one of y'all ever almost got into a fight in the parking lot after a show?
Yeah.
Because something y'all said on stage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, give that shit up then, nigga. What y'all keep, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
Well, I mean, the fat girls that got mad, I said the pussy smelled like wet Cheerios. That was that was my first experience with the angry fan. I was like, oh, okay, so maybe hers actually does, because I wasn't talking to specifically her, but whatever. I did a show in Long Beach one time, and we got out in the parking lot, and I was doing this bit about dating different races of women, and I was talking about Mexican chicks, and it wasn't anything like super crass at all. And it wasn't even like race related. It was a joke about a food, but they just was like, oh, so you like talking about Mexicans, huh? And I'm talking about 2 minutes out of a bit. Like my black woman bit was longer than theirs. And I was just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? And I saw myself getting surrounded. Like I'm about 5 feet from my car, but there's a dude on the passenger side, there's a dude on the driver's side, and there's a dude back by the club. You know what I'm saying? And damn. A couple of other comics came out, and it was like, everything good out here? And he turned and looked at Buddy, and he was like, everything cool? The dude that ran the bar was a Mexican too, the showrunner rather. And he was like, we cool, we just talking to your friend over here. Like that. And they all kind of bounced out and left, and I went back in. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, what was that about? And he was like, man, they hot heads. They always mad about something, man. And he was like, you ain't say nothing offensive. I would have told you if you said something offensive. I know it was a mostly Mexican crowd. I was like, yeah, I sold a gang of merch tonight. Like, they was loving me. He was like, yeah, that's just those guys. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's triggered differently. And at the level that I'm at the level Brandon's at, we don't have that security team walking you to the car. It's dangerous as shit to do comedy. It's always at a dive bar in the middle of nowhere. It ain't always a laugh factory. So it's a wild business to decide to voluntarily do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny. My story is similar. It was definitely a Hispanic crowd.
Damn.
But I was running an open mic.
Y'all keep on. Both of you niggas.
Yeah.
Illegal opinion, man.
I was running an open mic in Van Nuys because I used to live there. I hate Van Nuys. But it's called Carlito's Way.
He said, I hate Van Nuys every time you bring up Van Nuys.
and fucking Carlito's Way. And see, what I didn't know, I was only there to run this open mic. It was passed down to me. Dude was running it. He's like, hey, you can have it. And I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. I was just a host, and then I just started running this shit. And so I'd be like mainly it would be comics. It was on a Monday night. It'd be like this comic friends or whatever. It was just a late night mic. And then like I would do that. I'd be working out jokes, but I said some off color fucking. I forget what I said, but it was some off color. It was a Hispanic joke, but I was making fun of like. I think it was something about. I had a joke about plantation, or you can call it strawberry patch, and blah 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 for the Hispanics or some shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I said that and that. So little did I know that every other night this is a heavy Hispanic bar. Like on a Friday night, I went there and I tried to go in, and even the security guard, he was black. He was like, "You don't want to go in there, bro." Like he did, like because it was like deep like that. So these guys got fucking pissed and blah blah blah, this that and the other thing. And one of this dude's name is this Hispanic dude. His name was Massive, and he was big as fuck.
His name was Massive.
His name was Massive. That's what he called himself.
Massive.
Yeah, Massive. He was
Massive.
Huge.
Massive.
Yeah, it was huge. Shout out to my boy Massive. We cool now. But they ran up on me.
We got to be cool now.
Yeah. They ran up on me, man. And you were boxed in. Like I'm outside, I was smoking a cigarette or something like that. They boxed me in. It was like blah blah blah, this and another thing. But the thing of it is that I had to be humbled in that point. And it's even though I was like, hey, this, you know what, that was offensive. And they don't take kindly to that. They live there. It's heavily Hispanic in the valley. So they live there, and like this is the place that they go to, and they didn't come here to be disrespected or anything like that. They was like, hey, you guys are doing a show that this is our neighborhood bar, blah blah blah. And I had to understand that, and then just reading the room. And that's exactly what like that was that I took that to heart, because it's like, you know what, even though just like with these racist comics, even though it's all supposed to be fun and games, that shit can still cut somebody. So you have to
sure.
And I'm not sitting there saying you have to fucking rewrite your jokes or anything, but you gotta be ready for that shit.
Yeah,
you gotta be ready.
Yeah.
If you say and smoke shit, smoke will come. And like so that just was like, man, I never thought of that, because just being the black comic, I thought, like, not saying I had a past, I just wasn't thinking that way. And even being a black comic, it was like, damn, I could step out of the box and offend somebody that I don't know nothing about their culture. Just because they're brown skin don't mean that like I just ultimately get a pass. So like in these bar shows, man, hey, you can be funny, whatever, but just always remember, there always can be those hands. Those hands can be thrown like at any time. Like you still gotta go to your car. You still gotta get the fuck up out of there.
And
so,
people get knocked out for no reason.
I've seen comics outside the bar right after their set get like mashed into a wall.
God damn.
You know, just get checked, because as much as people are there for entertainment, everybody got a button, and nobody knows what all these people came from somewhere different and what they went through that day before they came to comedy. So you step outside, you know, trying to have a cigarette after your set, and there's a dude out there that didn't like that one thing you said because it was way too specific and close to home for him or her.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a cat, he went out there and he had started clowning on a female in the audience, and her dude hadn't gotten there yet. So she was already mad because he was late. And then right after the set, and he went in on her, Buddy shows up. Why is my girl mad? You know what I'm saying? And he's out there smoking a cigarette. And he's like, oh, well, that dude right there called me and said this about me and blah, blah, blah. He's got no context. He wasn't in the room. Yeah. All he knows, his girl is mad and he got to go home and get some pussy. So I'm a fight now.
Or not get it.
So you got to get beat up. Like,
bro, I don't know why. You just remind me of this fucking story. I went to go watch, I think I want to go watch Endgame, right? And you know how you got the reserved seats now in movie theaters? Yeah. So I'm in my seat, sitting there waiting on the movie to start, and I go to my seat, and there's, God damn it, there were some black people, right, in my seat, right, in my seat. So I go, I'm like, hey man, and I'm thinking, because am I being an asshole or not? Because there's a seat beside that one I could have sat in. I was like, no, because I bet you it's gonna be some motherfuckers come up here and they're gonna move me out of my seat because I was trying to not be the asshole, right? Yep. So I asked them, I said, hey, you know what? It's actually my seat. You mind if I sit down? Oh, this is your seat. And it's a woman and a man, right? Black couple. I don't know if they're a couple, but I don't know, but they're together, and they get up and they move down 2 seats, and I'm like, they ain't even looking at no tickets or nothing, like to make sure that they were like, because that's what you do. You know, oh my bad. Oh, you know what? That's an E, not an F. I'm sorry, I'll move. They just moved down. So then the people that own those seats for that time come in and they're like, hey, you're in our seats. So the black dude looks at this girl and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? What's the number on the goddamn tickets? She pulls out her phone because it's embarrassing because now you've moved twice. You look like you ain't even allowed in there at this point. Like you shouldn't even be in there. Because he looking at me and I'm like, nigga, don't look down here. I mean, I'm not with y'all. So they go stand on the stairs, like in the dark. The movie is starting. Like fucking Tony and the blue bitch are in the ship playing fucking, football now at this point. And he walks down the stairs and leaves. And I thought he might have had to go piss. They've been standing there for like maybe 5 minutes. She goes and finds a seat. She's like in her phone. Oh, okay, boom. Right? Goes and sits down in the correct seats, I'm guessing. And I'm looking at my watch because now I'm invested in the story.
Yeah.
Right?
We got to know how this
I'm invested in what's happening. This nigga don't come back.
Wait.
I mean, don't come back.
like
he didn't come back. He didn't come back and sit in the front. He didn't come back and sit next to her. He didn't come back and stay in the corner. This motherfucker in the fucking red windbreaker. I had him. He left, and I'm thinking like now I'm looking at her like, damn, bitch, like
you can't
how
be
you
on
getting
no
home?
No windbreaker anyway. Go home. Like,
how you getting home? Like this dude, I'm sitting there looking. I feel bad now. Like damn. Well, I don't know. Like when you said the dude was mad at, when showed up mad, I thought about that nigga that didn't have no ticket to get an end game because he thought the girl bought the ticket and shit didn't work out.
It sounded like you came up on a date.
Yeah. He probably was.
I probably should have slid down that seat like, hey.
Yeah. You could have saved the relationship.
Yeah.
But I've been in that. I understand that hot seat. I understand that.
You just sweating this shit, man.
Yeah, but they be doing some like sleazy shit, like, oh yeah, you ain't really get no tickets or whatever. He might have been fed up with it and be like, man, I'm out of here, man.
I'm out. I'm gonna leave you right here by yourself. All right.
Dating is dating is such a weird thing anyway, man. Like I don't even think it's fun. Like I would hate to have to do it.
Nah.
It's not fun. Trying to get to know anybody. You know who I think has the best relationships? Virgins.
Yeah.
I think if 2 virgins get together, they'll have the best relationship and the best sex too.
It's like
okay, well, part of that is correct.
Time.
What? No, what part? I'm serious. I really feel like
the first part, not the second part.
No, you're thinking about it wrong because you're thinking about it from the standpoint of a man that has had sex. But if you've never done it and she's never done it, so you have no idea from the chicks that you was like, yo, she was backing it up. You don't have none of that in your head. So you're bad at it and she's bad at it. So it's the best you've ever had.
No, it's absolutely, it's bad.
No, but it's
bad.
See, you're not hearing me. You're not hearing me, bro.
I feel you.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Brandon?
It's bad. Yeah. Well, you happy that you having sex?
No, they're happy they're having it, but at the same time,
but you're having bad sex.
There's no benchmark for it, though. There's no,
because
you ain't doing the thing like the other girl.
You beat off before.
But somebody else beating you off is completely different. This is not that. That's not you sitting at home by yourself.
It's just, and it's like you rawing and you ain't got no consequence, basically.
None.
No, you're talking about married and virgins. Is that what you're talking about?
No, just fucking.
Or you talking about straight virgins?
Period. I mean, let's say 2 people never. Let's go that route. I like that route. Both of y'all decide you're gonna stay virgins until you get married. Now you both stuck with the bad sex, but now you're gonna learn what each other like together, and there's no there's no benchmark from previous relationships.
It doesn't, because you don't have to have bad sex to know what bad sex is.
Yeah,
nigga,
you do.
When I was a virgin,
yeah, you do.
I didn't fucking nut until like my 10th time having sex.
What's wrong with your dick?
Nothing. I wasn't fucking right.
What do you mean you didn't?
I wasn't fucking right.
How did? Okay, I need more information.
There's levels
through a
shit, I guess.
Threw a condom on.
So what was you
just
doing?
like,
you just fucking and you got up like The Rock and just stood on
nigga,
the top
I was just
rope
like,
and
all right,
shit?
well, I guess this is sex. All right, well,
You are kidding
keep
me.
it moving.
You
No.
didn't nut the first 10 times. So what did you do? You just
At
left?
least. We were just done. I fucking told you the first episode I fell asleep. I'm like, okay, well, all right, we done? Oh, shit. Oh, okay. All right, let's go ahead and get up out of here.
The first time I got you. You don't know what's happening. The other 9 is the ones
And
I'm
now you're
confused
talking.
about.
No, now you're talking about when porn was on VHS and shit. So if you fucking live at home and you have a VCR, you wouldn't just see how people got it in. Like,
oh yeah, you couldn't just watch Sugar Walls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, exactly. You couldn't just go in there and see fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Booty talk tapes.
Yeah, all that shit was old. It wasn't around. But no, man, hey, fuck that. There's no way 2 virgins are having better sex than I'm having. That's impossible.
You're not hearing me. See, you're twisting. You're changing the narrative. Look, man, I'm talking about 2 people. I know people that done got together and they virgins, and I be thinking, oh, I know they sex has got to be terrible. You know what I'm saying? She probably got like her elbows on his shoulders and don't know they ain't supposed to be there.
Exactly. And now let me tell you something. No, fuck that. Fuck that.
Oh, you gonna hit a plastic bat? Is that what we're gonna do? Huh?
Let him. Okay, here's the experiment. You let him fuck her, okay? And then you go fuck her. Ask her which one she prefer.
Of course, she's gonna like me better. But my point is, they don't know that because they're just the 2 of them. So she doesn't know that it gets better. It's that whole ignorance is bliss thing, bruh. Ignorance is bliss. They don't know that it's trash.
Do you know that? Okay, check this out. Do you
They don't know.
Like when you get your dick sucked the first time, do you know that this shit is? It's okay that she's doing it, but I could go without this.
No, because you have no benchmark for it.
You crazy? You know what you don't like. This shit is not good.
I gotta go with Marcus on this one.
Come on, man.
There's been a lot that I'm like, I guess.
I don't need this. Get off me.
On the
You make
first
my
one,
dick
you know
soft.
that. You've never
making my
had that
dick
happen
soft.
to you before, and you know that off top.
Dog, the first time I got head, I'm like, why? This doesn't feel nice. What are her teeth doing? Get the fuck off of me.
My first 3 times, I thought about when I got good head. The first 3 times that I got it prior to that, I thought about the chick the whole time I was getting head. The good part, because I was like, they were terrible. They were
fucking bad.
I couldn't get it out of my head. I was like,
hey, look, you talking to her ass? Spit it out, like you're talking to some kids. Spit it out now.
What? Just
Spit
get it out of there.
No, I'm good.
After you get the first one and it's after that one wasn't good. After you get somebody that's like, oh, this girl is down for the slobber knocker. Okay. Yeah. Now you're thinking back to the other one and was like, wow, I half enjoyed that and didn't know that it got better. And that's what I'm saying.
You knew it was bad. So, you knew it was bad.
You might know something's off, but if you ain't never experienced it before, it's like riding a roller coaster for the first time.
Whatever, nigga. When her teeth hit that frenulum, you like, God damn, get off. Okay, we done.
Oh, yeah. The frenulum, boy.
Yeah,
it's a sensitive spot.
Get your dentures off my dick.
If she's doing it and she's not well versed, now you're definitely gonna know immediately.
No, man. It's not. You're not gonna tell me that virgins are having sex and they think it's good.
2 people that don't know no better is gonna do their thing. That's all I'm saying. They're gonna think that they doing it up because they have nobody else to bring the freak out of them further.
And that's why it's gonna be whack.
But they don't know that. Okay. We know that. They don't know it's whack.
Dude, you don't have to have multiple partners whether or not to know sex is good or not. You don't have one. You get in there, you like, yo, you know what? I'm not okay. This is not good. You just laying here. Bitch, you ain't even moving.
If she's a virgin, she's trash. He's a virgin, he's trash. They do manage to make each other climax.
No, they do not.
That's it.
I'm thinking that you guys are talking about personal experience because I agree with you both. Because
I'm not.
But I understand what Marcus was saying is like, man, if it's trash, you just thinking you wasting time. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Like, are we done here?
Like, this isn't what you get a gift. It's like a gift on Christmas, and then it's not what you want. I
think we've all had the ones where it's like, okay. I gotta go. Like, we can just go ahead and call it.
But on your end, Sam, if you are doing that and you're like, oh, you're terrible at it, but you like lasted like maybe like a minute and a half. You bust nut, whatever the shit, and you're like, man, that was great. Even though you're garbage, you still enjoyed it. But if it's not enjoyable, then it's trash. It's super.
So
trash.
you saying Brandon, the first time you had sex, did you bust?
No.
Did you saying the first time you had sex, did you bust?
No.
And you thought it was good sex?
Well, I had sex on accident, so that I don't
shit,
count.
Here you go, fell and slipped in the pussy and shit.
I did. I actually did.
Never mind. Did you?
I think we've had this conversation
about the bicycle. Yeah.
No. This wasn't the bicycle story. I was not telling it. It's me.
The fuck you mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to. You gonna have to go back in some pods, man.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta go back in pods. But you just said that you slipped and had sex, but there's a bicycle involved.
No, the bicycle was a different story. This was my first time. At the time, it was a chick I knew in high school. Whatever. Mama was gone. The regular shit. Yeah. And we would make out naked.
Yeah.
Like humping, but like with no clothes on. And I like slipped in, and it was like, holy shit. I'm in there now. And I think like 2-3 strokes later, that whole that was back when sex ed was fresh. Pulled out and was like, hey, we gotta stop this. That was an accident. And then we went and got a rubber and then proceeded to do the thing. You know what I'm saying? But it was an accident. I lost my virginity on accident. Like, that's a real story.
Yeah. Does that count as you losing your virginity? If you slipped your dick in for a second and was like, my bad?
I think it should count. It counts. If you win it, the first entry, that's the ticket punch.
If a girl gives you a blowjob, does that count as you losing your virginity?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
That don't count? Okay.
That don't count. That's just in the head.
Yeah.
You just practicing. Okay.
That's practice.
That's you
talking about practice?
Figuring out like what you got to think about to keep yourself from nothing.
Practice. All right. Moving right along here. We got a segment. All right. We tested it out last week. It tested well. It tested well with the group, with the people that are listening. And this new segment is called, well,
you could shut the fuck up.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
I guess that means you need to shut the fuck up. That's what I do if I don't have no army. I would fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's right.
Simple and plain.
This week, Sam has a candidate for you could have just shut the fuck up.
Yes, I do. And it's not even
Mr. Sam. Take it away.
I know last week it was Aisha Curry, but this is Trump supporters in general. Okay.
Okay.
So, and I was having this conversation with somebody that I know. I have people that, everybody's got people they work with, whether they really express it or not, that they're Trump supporters. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This particular person, I've known him for a long time. I didn't know he was a Trump supporter till he came through with the hat on. It's something we was doing.
He wore a hat.
Hold on. But it wasn't the red, hey, this is clearly who I am hat. It was a black Trump 2020 hat. It was real subtle. Wouldn't even know unless you just up that close to look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, I've known him a long time. I know his heart. Our kids play together. We cook out together. We talk. We have lots of conversations. What we don't get into is that Trump shit.
Yeah.
And what I've learned from that is I know that there's we talk a lot about drawing that line in the sand. You know what I'm saying? Like, you either get it or you don't. And Trump is doing a lot of things that, to me, and I said this last pod, I'm saying just enough to walk to the line of racism and stopping. Because I know if I say it all the way, there's going to be a problem. I don't believe every Trump supporter is racist. I believe every racist is a Trump supporter. I really do. But if you're out with them and you know they're a Trump supporter, y'all can be friends if both of you just shut the fuck up. We just don't have to go there. I don't need to talk to him about specifically why he is supporting him, because I think I talked about this in a different pod too. I've been to the Midwest. I talked to people that are Trump supporters. And after I found out why they were voting for him, they hate him as a man, but they got a livelihood. And they know that he is supporting those things. And that was back when he was promising bringing back coal jobs and all of that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So everybody's got their reasons. They're not all racist, but it's real easy if you just shut the fuck up and don't go there. The problem I think we have as minorities is when we see people with that hat on, it's triggering. I know it is for me. It makes me immediately go, all right, I need to know where you stand in a room. I need to know if it went down today. Like if he jumped up on the news and like flipped some pigeons to give y'all a sign, do I need to take you out immediately? You know what I'm saying? But I knew him long before I saw him with a Trump hat on. And I've never even heard him say anything positive about Trump, which was interesting to me.
Right.
He'd be like, man, this motherfucker, you know, like he'd be going in. And like then the more we hung out, I was like, you know what? We just both shut the fuck up about it and we can go ahead and eat this steak.
Yeah.
And I expect that to be an unpopular opinion because I know that right now with it, everybody's emotions being on high, it's real easy to be like, nah, fuck that. I can't be around nobody that, but if you're really losing friends because of politics, I want to tell y'all something. You didn't lose them because of politics. Politics just showed you who they really were. Get to know somebody, man. Find out what it is about them that makes them tick and why they're doing that. And it's real easy if you just shut the fuck up. That's it.
Word.
That's it. Your thoughts? Am I wrong?
I don't think that you're wrong. I think that it's noble. Like, I mean, I'm sure that I have friends that are Trump supporters. I know that I do, but they shut the fuck up about it, and they should. Just because, I mean, like I'm just gonna say this in this climate right now. We're talking day to day shit right now. We're talking about him doing a rally on Tulsa on Juneteenth. Oh, come on, man!
Yeah.
Like, they're like, come on, bro. Like, I can't. Like, if you want to do that, if you got financial reasons why you supporting this man or whatever, but you got to know where I stand. My color. I am a black man in America. You know where I'm at. Like if you value this relationship, and that I do believe that merits a pass. If you really know this person and they could at least understand that I shouldn't bring this up to you. I value this, but my political ties are here, and your political ties are there. Yeah. And respect you enough to not bring that shit up, then that's it. But if you try to stop that rah shit, man, you gotta get toasted.
Now let me say this. Yeah. We've talked it only ever came up one time, and that was the day I saw him in the Trump hat. Because I think a Trump hat and a MAGA hat are two different things. The MAGA hat is that bright ass red hat with the white letters. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, I see you. Okay. And it was just the two of us. I didn't like try and call him out in front of a bunch of people. And I was like,
you saw him with it?
Well, not the red hat, the black hat. Oh. I've never seen it. He doesn't own the red hat, which is what I was going to get to. And I asked him, I was like, I've never seen you with a Trump hat on. And he was like, I know. I was wondering if you was going to say something. Just like that. And I was like, well, I got to ask.
No, you weren't. You knew I was going to say something.
Well, he saw me keep kind of, you just kind of keep looking at the corner of your eye like, I have to. And I asked him, I said, I've never seen a black one before. I tried to bring it up subtle. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I've never seen a black one before. Why you don't have a red one? And he said, that red one means something different. I'm not with that. That says a lot to me. Like that means, okay, I'm following him for whatever political reasons, but I understand that other hat triggers people in a different way. And that what it means I'm not about. And at that point, I was like, all right, we're good. We're good. Uh-oh.
I mean, I respect you for, saying we're good and still being cool.
This is my thing. Well, go ahead. Say what you're going to say. I got to hear this. I felt a way.
But the fact that it's still a Trump hat, it still stands for what Trump stands for. Just the fact that the color is fucking different doesn't change the message to me. I was in the store a couple of days ago, and there was a guy like looking at the little DVDs in the electronics section, and I didn't, because that red MAGA hat is bright red. It'll stop you in your goddamn tracks.
Yeah.
Just because of the message that comes behind it, just because of, the awareness I have to have now with you around me with that hat on, like you were saying previously, right? So this guy had on it's like a Trump 2020 hat. It was black, like a little blue stripes on it or something like that. White Trump 2020 on it. And I'm looking at this dude like, why are you wearing and this is to everybody that's doing this. Why are you wearing the hat? Like, are you trying to attract attention to yourself by wearing that? By wearing this bullseye? Like, do you want people to see you wearing that and then have an altercation ensue where you want to debate somebody about Trump, or you want to have, fisticuffs with somebody about the policies and shit like that? Like, why are you doing that? And to me, that's the thing I always think about is, okay, Obama's shit was hope and change. It wasn't his fucking name.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was hope and change. It was an O. Well, it wasn't his name. It was like an O with some fucking stars in it or some shit like that. Whatever the fuck it was, right? It wasn't his name. And of course, his character wasn't divisive. His character wasn't a fucking bully and a straight bitch, if you listening to me, motherfucker.
Facts.
His character wasn't that. It was a softer tone. I mean, you can even look at it. It was like blue. It was like a light blue, red, white, and blue a little bit, white around it. It was a different tone than fucking red, like a fucking bull, right? Bulls charging at red. Like, I'm seeing red with white writing. So to me, you're trying to send me a message by fucking walking around with this goddamn hat on. Like, if you walk, like, I'm not going to front, keep it straight 100. If I'm walking down the street or walking in the sidewalk and I see a dude with a MAGA hat walking towards me, or Make America Great Again, or Keep America Great Again, and these fucking dumbass hats, like, guard, if he's right? walking, if he's walking towards me, I feel like now you're fucking challenging me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I ain't fucking moving. So you either gonna have to get the fuck out my way, or we gonna have to fucking fight. Mm-hmm. Because I know what you mean when you wear that fucking hat. You mean to move me out of your way. So fuck you, nigga. We gonna have to fucking fight because I ain't moving. And that's just it. Yeah. So fuck that hat. Fuck everything that's fucking behind that hat. Fuck that nigga that's in the fucking White House acting like a goddamn jackass, pepper spraying and fucking throwing pellets at these fucking peaceful protesters so we can stand in front of a goddamn church. Fuck that nigga. And fuck that fucking hat. And I applaud you for being able to do what you did and say, okay, we had this conversation. That's great. But you got to get the fuck out of my goddamn house, nigga. Period.
Oh, I didn't. Well, let me clarify something.
Period.
He wasn't in my house. I want to let's clear that shit up right now.
He didn't come to the cookout with that.
No, he didn't come to the cookout with that hat on. Like, Marcus sprinkled that in there to see if I was gonna be like, but he made a great steak. No.
Y'all was talking about. I heard grills, I heard steak, and I heard this nigga with this fucking hat on. And that's all I mean.
This was not at either of our houses. I'll say that.
Okay.
I'm not getting into the specifics because, like, he don't have no parts of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. He can't tell his side, and I understand.
Yeah, and like I said, I knew him for years before I ever saw him with that hat on. Now, have we ever had like pseudo political conversations? Yeah. Did we ever sit at the round table and go tell me why you like Trump? No. But I know the man and I know his family. So it would be wrong of me to go, you're canceled because you have on a MAGA hat or a black version of a MAGA hat when I know you don't stand for the dumb shit. And he'll say he thought that, him going to the church that way was wrong. He'll say things like that.
But I don't understand that part for somebody. Like, why would you support something that you think is...
Because there's people... Did you like everything Obama did? Let me ask you that.
I like most things he did.
I did like most things.
And you know what? And you know what most things is? It's not fucking the shit up.
Yeah.
This country was a goddamn dumpster fire when he got in office.
He fixed a lot of shit. But you already know how that goes. They like to do that thing where they'll go, well, it was on its way to being back because of the president before him. And then when Trump got they let him take credit for the stuff Obama put in place. Right? That's what they did.
They try to do that. Like, there was no way of them saying.
That's what I'm saying.
There was no way of them saying that. There's no way of them saying that that the economy was going up when Obama got in office. Like, you remember Saturn, the car company? That's just out of here now. Fucking Hummer, all that shit.
I have
just fucking gone.
I had a Saturn. Yeah, that shit is gone.
It's just gone. It was different. Like, when people with like the healthcare system, and people forget about this. The healthcare system was people were literally at the time of 2007 going to the hospital to fucking die.
That's it. Yeah.
The death panels, that shit was real. That's a real thing that happened. So when Obama got in office, yeah, it was a a legitimate fucking house fire when he came inside. Trump takes this shit and he can take responsibility for the numbers, which I think, I mean, this pandemic is bad for everybody, right?
Yeah.
But here is the one thing, or another thing that I think is kind of blessed us to see how fortunate we are in having the things we have. Some people have lost things, and some people have gained things. But I think this is one thing we're all gaining through this pandemic and through this economic crisis, is that no one saw, not even the Democrats, I believe, no one saw Trump losing in November.
No.
Because this country has been on fucking cruise control since 2010, right? Cruise control. Had the coolest motherfucker in office, not one scandal. Everybody's chilling, right? And Trump comes in, takes credit for everything. Oh, I got a botched system. The economy's messed up. All this shit. I'm gonna fix everything. But the economy is still ticking up the way it has been the last 8 years, or I'm sorry, the last probably 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's never had to touch the wheel. He's never had to do anything to really do. I mean, he fucking signed this reform bill over here and signed this little coal bill over here. Never had to touch the wheel until this happens. Mm-hmm. Now he's got to drive this bitch. And he's driving the country like he's fucking driving a goddamn tractor. Like fucking big wheel in this shit all over the place. Yeah. He's in the fucking grass. He's all off the road. And now people can finally see, like, we were trying to hide the fact that we think he really is a senile fucking crazy person.
Yeah, when it was on cruise control, it was straight.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For sure. For sure. And like, and the other thing is like where we came to in these couple of weeks of coming, being angered, burning shit, protesting, coming to resolution, bringing motherfuckers to the table that I had never thought we'd bring to the table. I never thought that the NFL would be even speaking about none of this shit.
Word. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, like straight up saying we got it wrong. Like, so, and none of this motherfucker doing this, all this, like, yeah, the big wheel shit, but none of it is effective. Put nothing in the pot. Nothing in the pot. Doesn't do anything. You had the White House with the lights off and you in the bunker, pimp, because you scared.
The lights
you ain't
off.
never been around that many black people.
Never seen it blacked out.
Yeah,
never.
Never in my life.
You got the biggest house in America, and you think nobody's gonna see that shit when you turn the lights off of the fucking White House? You dumb shit.
Yeah,
I bet he made Melania go hit the circuit breaker.
Man.
Yeah.
They all try, and then like I mean, but you know what? The thing of it, I don't feel sympathetic for this motherfucker or his kids or whoever follows him. But I understand the fact that now you trying to come out all like you trying to come out like bulls on parade because you look like a bitch. You
Straight
in there,
bitch.
You in there in the bunker with the lights off, all scared. All your family, your wife and shit looking like, man, everybody hates you right now.
When you got your generals like coming out on record to say I shouldn't have walked with him.
Yeah.
And you the commander in chief, that's amazing.
Secretary of Defense. Secretary of Defense was like, yeah,
I'm hoping that the people that still really do faithfully follow Trump blindly are looking at the people around him. Like, I've never seen so many people get fired from the cabinets and administration around the president. Like, it's nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Because he's a crazy person.
The thing that I say to Trump supporters, they're not straight up. Like, because I believe that a lot of people are voting out of their interest. What the fuck? Unless you're the 1%, what is he doing for you, for real?
Yeah.
Is he bringing your jobs back? Is he staying there? Like, the farmers supported him. They fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
And word!
I don't.
They're throwing away squash. They got piles of squash and shit that they can't get rid of.
And look, white people love squash like hoes love chicken Alfredo. Yeah. So
but I would say this, and this is what I believe. This is my theory. I believe that the old rich, and I'm not trying to be derogatory, but the old rich white man that is a dinosaur that's dying, and this is they are trying to fight, but it's outdated. It doesn't make any sense. Like, just with this bait thing of his first rally, you trying to bait people to come there and you have a rally so you can have some sort of race war. We too smart for that. We're gonna let you have your little thing, and we're gonna still keep doing our thing. It doesn't matter. Like, you look weak because you are weak. That's it. Like, look in the mirror. That's it. Like, so, like, I just don't understand. Like, if you do support Trump and you got some major, real estate shit going on, you getting major tax breaks, I can understand that. Or if he fix your fucking taxes or some shit like Kanye shit, like, all right, man, like, whatever, bro. But I'm not fucking with you. But I understand that. At least I understand that. But if it's not that, then it's racism. What is it?
Well,
he's a wealthy white dude from Manhattan, does not give a fuck about Southerners, does not give a fuck about poor people, no color, does not give a fuck.
What we got is
what
the people.
What is he doing?
The people that there's two different types of people. Like, when you start talking about the whole Trump supporter thing, or what is it that you follow him for, right?
Yeah.
Are you worried about humanity, or are you worried about the economy? And to me, I think the people that use the economy as their kind of filter for their racism, they use that to follow Trump a lot of the time.
Right.
I do think some of them really do believe the economy is what drives America, and it doesn't have anything to do with race. But it's a case by motherfucking case basis. So when I say, and I'm just going to put a button on this whole shut the fuck up thing right now. What we always say on the legal opinion, like, either listen with an open mind or leave mad. The choice is yours.
Nice.
I could have either saw the hat and got mad immediately, or tried to learn about the man. I chose to learn about the man. Whether that's right or wrong, we'll see later. But that's,
it's cool that it's cool that he's cool, but just and maybe, like, I'm from the deep South, right? So for me, it's cool to be cool because people put that front up, and not everybody. I don't want to put a blanket statement out there, but a lot of people put that front up because they know, like, let's say you found out this guy was racist. Now he could lose his whatever, right? So people put a cover on, they put a veil over that shit with, hey, man, like, I'm just wearing, I just like this hat, bruh. And it was, you know what I mean? I'm not really like that, though.
If that
and
had
then
happened,
all of a sudden,
that had happened, I would have real quick been like, oh, all right, nah. And now we got to have the conversation because you done made it fucking weird now.
Yeah.
Don't just tell me you like the hat. No,
I will say, Sam, that, like, and Marcus, I applaud you being on the front line and being in the South. It's hard. It is. I know. No, shit, real shit. It's hard, man. I don't live that life.
Yeah.
Like,
how far are you from, like, a Piggly Wiggly?
Probably like 5 miles.
They still a real thing? That was a trick question. I did not know. Okay.
Nah,
but
still a real thing. Down here they are.
Wow.
Yeah, let me put in my point is that Sam, I also applaud you, even though I don't really like it's hard for me to understand that because where I'm at geographically. And man, somebody put a Trump hat on, and so the same. But I applaud you for even, like, being on the front line. To even, like, it's a hard thing, and you're gonna take criticism from your own culture,
and I'm fine
people,
with that.
But you are doing that, and at least maybe you could pull him in and over, and that's what we need. We do need that. I'm not that person, Marcus. You're not that person. Like,
I would have goddamn it. You better get your ass.
But we all
put that damn plastic bat down.
We need it all. We need it all because we're all living these different experiences, but we're all still black. So, like, I understand what you're saying, but being like where I'm just saying where I'm from, like, it's almost like, man, you might get fucked up if you live in LA with a Trump hat.
Oh yeah, I'm far enough away that they can get away with it. Like I told you, I live in a very, very Republican area. And I can you can clearly see the ones that mean you harm when they look at you.
But you know what the best part about it is? That you can come amongst your peers and talk about it. That's the best part. That's the best part.
Hey, even judge me, baby. I know y'all listening right now. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Do that.
Yeah.
You're a bigger man than us, man. You're a bigger man than us, dog. It's all good.
Yeah, it's big up. Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right, man. It's all right. So I do have a question.
I'll take that smoke.
I have a question. Do you guys think that the NFL should just fire Jay-Z right now, since they don't need to do the black propaganda thing?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and call him up.
I mean, like, look, man, we gonna give $100 million. We good now. We don't need you to do that.
Yeah.
That halftime show shit. We good.
Yeah. You might as well. You already had the big boss man come out and say the shit. Like, that whole like, I mean, I really think that if he's smart, he should be getting an exit strategy out now, because that whole we're past kneeling shit, that's a wrap, bro. Like, what you talking about?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Peacefully
that looks
protesting?
bad now. That looks bad now.
It looks
doesn't
super bad.
Yeah.
That looks bad now. I forgot about that shit. That looks bad
Yeah,
now.
and you know what? And it's like, even though, and when I said my stance of like, what is he do? Like, what like, I had to process the George Floyd thing. I was still saying, because I was ringing in my head, like, what's Jay-Z? What's he talking about? Like, where's that? Like, where's, like, you know, our
has he said anything?
He spoke to the governor, and got it got it bumped up to the I don't know, like, the legal terms.
He
but,
ain't
like,
said as much as he did when he got the NFL job.
No, he did that, and that's because the white governor said, I talked to Jay-Z. That's all that's been said.
And that's what I'm saying.
Jay-Z didn't come out and say shit.
Think about the optics. When he got the NFL gig, that was, hey, Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a Jay-Z fan. We talked about this shit. Like, he came out like, yo, I'm about to get rid of all these race problems. It's about to be black. I'm black is in the office, whatever. Yeah. And then we get Shakira and J-Lo. Yeah. So it was like, all right. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I ain't expect him to have, you know, like, I don't know, like an E40 reunion show or some shit. Like, it wasn't gonna be super black at the Super Bowl.
Go get Mary or some shit, man. Fucking
see Barry wear the shackles off my feet for the halftime.
Yeah, man.
No, I don't want that either.
I would have rather that.
Don't want the shackles on my feet. But yeah, we got all sorts of publicity on that. This is bigger than the NFL and a job to make that sort of change. So to me, if you're going to put yourself on that pedestal over there, you should have been over here.
Exactly. Right. That's what I was about to say. Cultural credit, bro.
Yeah.
Cultural credit. Like, they made you. They was like, hey, well, I'm going to write this check for you. You're going to do this press conference. But we've been supporting you this whole fucking time. Where's our press conference at?
Where's the press conference at now?
Yeah.
It's nowhere.
Man, come on. And I'm going to need, and I mean, like, you know, I'm not trying to give y'all no smoke, but I'm just saying, anybody around that camp, anybody.
I know, man.
I need more than the Instagram post, pimp.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I'm glad Sam said that, man, because Sam is a huge Jay-Z fan.
I am
huge.
Oh man, I admire the man, but like, come on, bro. Like, I think that you taking money over, but that's a slippery slope. When you get up in and you put that B on you, you got shareholders and shit, man.
That's how you know I'm a real fan, Marcus. Like, I can admit when my heroes fuck up. Like, I was disappointed.
Well, a lot of people can't, because I got friends of mine that are huge Saints fans. And they couldn't fully come out and be the disappointed that they should have been in Drew Brees saying what he said. And I've had conversations with these cats like, yo, man, like, you still riding with Drew? And they still talking about that who that bullshit. Like, okay, well, fucking, you know, he didn't mean it like that. He just no. And I think, and this goes back to some
who that nigga.
Who that nigga on that nag? So like for me, it's this goes back to a sports conversation we had early in the pod, where when people let their, and this, we didn't write this shit down, so this might get kind of deep. Like, the way people let their sports idols, the shit they allow them to get away with because you love this idol so much that it doesn't matter what the fuck they do, what the fuck they say, you're so into the sport that you can't compartmentalize what's happening on the field and what this dude is, I mean, what he's saying into a camera. Because I'm at the point where, at one point, I was saying, well, actions speak louder than words, right? But now I'm at the point where your words have to match your actions. I don't give a motherfuck if you give fucking $500,000 to the Boys and Girls Club in fucking New Orleans. If you come out of your mouth and say that shit, because we know to Drew Brees and to these athletes, $500,000 ain't nothing but a fucking write-off anyway.
Yeah.
Like, they getting that bread back. So don't be fooled.
Yeah.
That money's coming right back to the account when tax day comes. But people get so obsessed with their fucking sports stars that they can't see past that fucking camouflage of, hey, I'm a winner. You could be a winner on the field, but I mean, I got to support you outside of that. I don't have to support you at all. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Fuck you.
That's what it is. Fuck you. That's what it is, man. Like,
so it's kind of interesting how people like they'll allow their fucking heroes to say some shit, And it's like, well, you know, he still won us our first Super Bowl. He still won us our first chance. Like, dude, that nigga don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah. And where's the money at? That's what I'm saying. You own it? You own a part of this fucking organization?
That's
like,
the other part of it.
Like, what the fuck is he bringing you? You watching him on TV? You giving him money for saying the bullshit?
Yes,
man, fuck that motherfucker.
Motherfucker passed by you, and if you was on fire, he wouldn't piss on you to put you out. But you talking about, yeah, let's go. He didn't mean what he said about kneeling, and that his.
Fuck that dude. Like I'm only about the sports politics, but fuck him. Ain't no fucking way that you come in on this climate and you say that bullshit, and then 24 hours later, oh, I fucked up. You know what you was saying, bro.
Yeah.
You know what you was saying, bro. Come on, man. You knew what you was saying, bro.
So,
We got you.
And I can see Marcus's face. Like, he was waiting to see if I was going to say something bad about Jay-Z.
No, I would. Well, when he said, when the NFL came out with the $100 million, I thought this. I guess this was yesterday when they came out with that news. I thought about it then. I'm like, if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna give $100 million over the next 10 years to black causes, then why the fuck do they need Jay-Z? That's what Jay-Z was for.
No.
Like Jay was supposed to be the branch. Now, nigga, we don't need you to do this. Like we gonna give them money. Get the fuck out of here. Like we could do the halftime shows, nigga. We'll just have Bruno Mars on for the next 10 years and everybody be happy.
Yeah, like I feel like it's a scar. It is a scar in his legacy. He ain't gonna live that. Like that's a scar. It is. You can't. You did the wrong move, and it turned out. Nobody knew that this was gonna happen, and it did. And then, like you said, like what do we need you for? If we have the commissioner coming out saying the shit.
Because that was the point.
That you did.
That was the point at first. It was, hey, we don't have a voice up there.
Yeah.
And then what happened? The players did what Jay-Z didn't do yet.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
the players came through.
The commissioner said it.
So I was like, well, so what was you doing in the office all this time up there that the players finally put together a Zoom video and got it done?
Yeah.
Publicly.
Straight up, just like that.
But the halftime show, I get it. Though.
Yeah. And then, so what y'all think?
We needed that for the culture.
What y'all think about the NASCAR? They came out and said that the Confederate flag is no more at their events.
Man, that's cap.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy to me.
That's huge.
Because we're not at those races
already.
with the racists.
We're not at the racists.
Yeah.
So for them to say that, if y'all want to see like. And this is something I posted earlier this week. If you want to go and see the white people that still don't understand why we're burning down the Grove, go to the comment section about that flag being removed from NASCAR.
They are.
Look in that comment section and look at Middle America.
It's they're extinct. They're going extinct and they're losing their minds, bro. They're losing their minds. The Jeffrey Epsteins of the world. They are losing their shit. They're like, there's so much shit that they've did that contributed to just holding people down. And without obviously, I want our seat at the table first. But it don't matter white, black, or nothing. It's economics, bro. They holding you down, and now we're seeing it, and nobody can unsee that shit. Like,
but I think to me that's bigger than the NFL. That's bigger than the NFL with the money.
Oh yeah,
it is.
Oh yeah,
it's a whole lot bigger. An organization that's built around that culture said that part of our heritage is not cool.
Yeah, because they're not losing. I'm telling you right
now,
they're
not losing my business. They never had it.
I never was going to partake anyway. So
I am now though. I'm gonna do it now.
We gonna go to a race.
Yo, we in here.
They did. Hey, move.
They thought they was barbecuing before out that bitch. We finna be in that motherfucker now, dog.
We about to get some kente cloth.
Yeah.
Yo,
in a Pelosi hat.
Yo. You got to race regular cars, man. I got to see some regular shit.
Some Camrys, and some Maximas out there racing.
Yeah, fuck all that extra shit. Let's just go to Camrys and Maximas. That's it.
I would fucking love to watch Altimas and Scions run around the track at fucking 85 miles per hour because I'm that dude.
Pegged out.
I'm that dude. Like I am the ESPN, the Ocho guy. I'd rather watch ESPN, the Ocho than watch regular ESPN. So please, if we ever become big enough, we gotta do that. That's major.
I feel
the Ultima 400.
I feel like that would be great because it's the same. It's the same time. It's the same. Yeah. It's the same amount of time. Like just cut it down to 85. How long is the race? Like fucking 3 hours. I don't give a fuck how fast they going, but I do give a fuck if I got that car though. I know I got a horse in the race now. I got a horse in the race. They racing the sign. I got that sign.
I got that. I got that SE. I got that SE. Come on, baby.
Come on, man. I'm putting money on the books for that. Like, man, watch their ass on this. Wait till lap 37. We still
wait till lap 37. That race will take half a day, goddamn.
Yeah, but it'll be a fun day.
It ain't never gonna be over.
Yeah,
slow cook a rack of ribs.
Hey, nigga, gonna be stopping on the track and talking to each other and shit. Like, so on your Sonata, how much? What's the gas mileage like? Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, you know, on a good day I get about 15 miles per gallon, but if it's raining, it's more like 12. But it's all right.
I'm telling you, man. That's the move.
Let me get my Ultima painted with like Safe Light auto glass or something. Repping big time. Oh man.
Move, man.
Okay, so whenever we have a guest on the show, we ask them to have an illegal opinion of their own to share with our wonderful audience. Shout out to the Legal Opinions podcast group, you heathens.
Okay.
Man,
what you got? What you got, man? What's Brandon West's illegal opinion for the week?
Oh, all right. A legal opinion that I have, and I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna put it out there.
Don't be scared.
I'm not gonna be scared. I'm trying to articulate it. I honestly think, and I've been peppering this throughout the episode, but I honestly think that there's a percentage. I don't know what the percentage is yet, but I think that in America, I'm just say, I don't know the percentage of economics that they're at, but I believe that all ultra rich old white dudes are shit.
Simple and plain.
I have no retort to that. Netflix is telling me that they're that. I watched Jeffrey Epstein shit. I was like, God damn, everybody's in on this game. These motherfuckers are dinosaurs, and the Black Lives Matter, and George Floyd is the comet or whatever the fuck that you want to call it that's coming to Earth and crashing, and they're non-existent. They're going to be non-existent. I honestly believe that. And you know why it's such an illegal opinion? Because I had to do that Malcolm X moment. It was like, how many of those have actually helped me? None.
Right. Yeah.
None. Mm-hmm. They've only oppressed me. So even like, I'm just saying this. It's just like, if you guys haven't seen the Jeffrey Epstein Netflix special or Netflix thing, don't watch it. It's terrible. It's fucking disgusting. But that is a fucking rapist of kids. And he didn't rape black kids. They're white. That means that and then he got away with it for so long, and so many people were involved. That right there showed me that, eventually I feel like they killed him. I'm not going to conspiracy theory, but I feel like they did. But
they killed that motherfucker.
Yeah, but it goes to the, that's how far it's economics. It doesn't the veil. I feel like the emergency button is our culture as black people. Once we start uprising, they don't want the fucked up shit they done to us. That's okay, but when you start how the fuck do you're a pedophile? How do you do that to 47 fucking known underage girls in Florida, and then get convicted, but get a sugarcoat deal and go to jail with your door open, and then still able to leave 12 hours a day? And he was taking flights to other countries and shit. Yeah, while he was in jail, bro. It was like that. That's I don't believe in the prosecutor at that time was what Trump appointed him to attorney general or some shit like that or some crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, the same dude that gave him that deal, the prosecutor. 47, then that's when I was like, bro, and that's my illegal opinion. Is
that's because they was involved, you know.
Yeah, I know.
We gotta pad everybody in this scenario.
There's a club, and the ultra rich old white dudes. I have never got a good vibe from them. It's not just me. It's females. It's all colors. It's economically. You know what I mean? Whether what sex orientation that you are, they don't fuck with none of that. They only fuck with that club. And like, so that's what I feel like. I don't know. That's my legal opinion. Like, because that just came on the top of my head. But man, I don't fuck with them dudes at all.
You ever watch Gringo on Netflix? It's called Gringo, and it's about John McAfee, the guy that did the antivirus shit for the computers.
No.
But y'all heard of McAfee, right? McAfee
I know.
antivirus.
I remember that shit used to pop.
Yo, this motherfucker is wild. Like it's along the same lines of that Epstein shit.
This dude was having white man.
Old rich white man, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it was the same. It was he was on an island. He had bought the police on the island.
Yeah.
He was paying for all these gangsters, paying for all these thugs. I think he killed a few people. He was out there paying women.
I did see that. See that.
Yeah.
He was like doing like some like he had like a militia around him.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
It said he was lit. What he would go sleep in a hammock, or he would get in a hammock and he had a hole cut out in it. He would like pay girls to get up under the hammock so he could shit on them.
Oh yeah, I remember this shit, dude. Like they in some weird shit.
Yeah, that's different. That's they on that eyes wide shut, man.
Yeah,
eyes wide shit. You better close your eyes.
Yeah, that's crazy. So let me ask you this: I've never been in this part of the conversation. Do I get an illegal opinion from you guys, or no?
I think I definitely gave one with my shut the fuck up.
Oh, you did.
I could give one. Let me think. I think Bert and Ernie are gay.
I don't even think that's illegal. I've been thinking they was gay.
Yeah,
you know what?
They're not gay?
I've never really thought. Like, I think I've heard rumblings of it, but I never really thought of it.
Man, you got
because as kids, you didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, you didn't think that. You thought they were your age when you were a kid, but now as you older and you looking at Sesame Street, and these niggas still live together.
They were sleeping in the same bed.
See, that's why I was on Marcus. I was like going to debate you about that because I have a roommate, man. I'm a grown man. Come on, man.
Y'all sleep in the bed together?
Hell no. That's what I'm saying. When you put that out there. No.
But they've been roommates since fucking 1982.
Yeah, they have. They haven't grown. They haven't grown.
Ain't nobody got a pay raise or nothing. Yeah. And they still in the same bed.
They don't even use their full names at all. They still call them fucking Bert and Ernie. It ain't fucking Ernest and Robert. That shit is still fucking, nah, nigga, you ain't fooling me.
Nah, you ain't fooling me. That's probably, man, you blowing.
Which one of them is the bottom, you think? Which one's the bottom?
I don't think.
No. Ernie the bottom.
Ernie's the bottom.
Yeah.
Ernie. No, I don't think Ernie.
Because Bert got that eyebrow.
Yeah. Bert be going off on Ernie. He'll be like, Bert, calm down, Bert. And Ernie will be making that noise like.
I think Ernie is slapping. I can't even say it. I can't even say it. You guys fucked my mind up. Just putting this photo in my head of Ernie slapping cheeks. Like I'm not doing. I can't. I don't know who.
Oh shit! I think Bert's the top. Ernie's definitely a bottom.
Oh shit, man!
Weekend at Ernie's.
But
getting them cheeks toe up.
Weekend at Ernie's. Oh my god!
I see like they do Sesame Street shit on CNN. I don't never see those two though. What's up with that?
Because you know what I'm saying. You know they it's a thing.
I see the Cookie Monster and shit. I see Big Bird.
Yeah.
I don't ever watch it. I just see the screen print. But I don't never see Bert and Ernie up in there. They ain't fucking with them. Nah.
See?
Now we know how to get to Sesame Street, boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. All right. Hey, we're gonna get ready to get up out of here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Weekend at Ernie's. Goddamn. Hey, thank you, Brandon West, for coming through, man. But shout out to your Twitters and all that good stuff, man, if you want to.
Yep. Give it up. Give it up.
You can hit me at BWestF50 on Twitter, BWestF50 on Instagram, WestWestClothing.com if you want to hit my
spell that out. Don't let them fuck that up.
WEST Clothing CLOTHING.com. You can hit that up. I'm dropping collection 2 on Monday.
Nice.
So brand new line. Thank you for all my supporters out there. Yeah, you can get me at Facebook. You know, you can see me. You tag me on this, or just look up Brandon West. You'll see a black dude with dreads. That's me. That's it. That's it. And yeah, man. And like, thank you guys. First of all, thank you guys for having me, and thank you guys for. I'm gonna say this on the humble, like. You guys got like a lot of cultural credit just coming out with this and keeping this going and keep putting people in the seat, keep talking your shit,
man.
and keep doing
Thank
it,
you.
man. Like you don't
Thank
know
you.
what, like I feel this was refreshing to me, like just having this conversation. And,
Appreciate that.
Like, and it like when it's like that, not forced.
Yeah.
When it's like that, you got something special. So hey, all you listeners, keep listening to this. Keep subscribe, hit the like button. I'll do the YouTube shit. Do all that. Tell your friends, tell your mama's friends, tell all that shit, man. This shit is lit. This shit is lit, man. Because you in the barbershop right now. This is what I feel like.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We done got some shit where people would be like, you know, y'all need a female up there all the time. And I'm like, no, like that's not what the show is. Like y'all can get that on The View. You can get that anywhere.
Yeah.
But to hear some men just have these conversations that might be uncomfortable at times, we need to do that.
Because we have feelings too.
We're not allowed to, though. We're not allowed to.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
Fuck your feelings.
I like where we went. See, you have the whole game, and you talking about fucking getting head that sucks, but now we have feelings.
I think it's all the same. It's all the same. Either it feels good or it don't. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's a feeling.
It's a feeling, man.
Spit my dick out, bitch, if you ain't doing it right.
That motherfucker
I've never heard that term, but I'm going to use it.
And before Brandon leaves, I want to tell Marcus about a drink that got me more fucked up than I've ever been very fast, called the Nick Mosa.
Yeah.
The Nick Mosa,
The Nick Mosa, give it up. What's
the
it?
Nick Mosa. So we used to fuck with Brandon. Me and my partner Terrence, we go down there to the club. Brandon was behind the bar. Amazing bartender. Get you fucked up real fast. And we'd ask him for drinks that we didn't know what they were, just to see if he'd make it. Like we'd be talking in conversation, yeah, man, make me a lime Ricky. Anyway, but check this out. Brandon, being a comic, he'd be like, this motherfucker think he's slick. Yeah. Ain't no such thing as a lime Ricky. So this dude goes and gets a champagne flute and puts half champagne, half Hennessy in a glass with a lime.
I knew it. If it got the word nig in it, I knew it had Hennessy in it.
Yeah. It's in your DNA. You already know what it is.
And we still talking, and he just comes up with these champagne flutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And both of us looked at each other, and we was like, what is this? Brandon goes, what the fuck you asked for? It's a Nick Mosa.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, a lime Ricky, rather, whatever. And we tasted it, and I was like, what is this, bro? He was like, man, ain't no such thing as no goddamn lime Ricky. He's like, it's Hennessy and some champagne. It was what was close. I put them in the thing. And I think we had like 3 of them, and then had the nerve to try and go up and do stand-up. None of us could articulate.
No,
shit.
Dude,
none of us, dog. Something about that champagne inside of the Hennessy, it's like an accelerant.
Yeah.
It hits you real fast or something. I don't know.
Bougie and ratchet at the same time. It's all of it.
Is it Savage? Is it Savage drink?
Savage. Yeah,
if Meg the Stallion was around, we would have gave her a product right then.
Yeah. That's it. Don't plug her yet until somebody gets some money, though.
I know, right? Yeah.
Straight up.
Somebody bleep her name out. But yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on, man, because I probably wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for the early teachings you gave me in a comedy game. So thank you, brother. Thank you for coming, man. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. Keep it going. Thank you for having me.
We definitely will, man.
Let me post this because I'm going to run the fuck out of it. I'm going to post this shit on everything.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, this ain't no one and done either. You coming back too, nigga. So.
Oh, yeah, man. Every time, man, I'm at my house right now, bro. Like, man, what's up?
Yeah.
You're a friend of the show now, baby. You here.
100.
Yeah, so everybody listening on the early,
put that shit in the comic section.
Yeah, everybody listening on the early, make sure y'all go and click like on the new Illegal Opinions podcast like page on Facebook. Make sure y'all hit up the Instagram, like that, share that. And we always putting clips out from each episode, so y'all can go share with your friends. If you one of them people with the ADD and you can't sit through a whole episode, we doing it all the work for you, baby. So go ahead and support the damn thing. We gonna keep it rolling and back at you every Sunday, man. I'm Sam Ridley. It's my man Marcus Palmer with our guest Brandon West, and we up out of here, man. It's Illegal Opinions. We appreciate you. We out.